I am Boo Boo the goddamn fool. I've been talking for like 7 minutes. To literally no one.
Did you have it muted?
I didn't have it muted. I didn't have voice mod on. You know, it's okay. Thank you. Thanks, Morel, for letting me know. Oh, that's embarrassing. That's extremely embarrassing for me.
Let's start over. I'm shaving. I'll be there in a moment. How's your week going? Hope you're getting over that hump. And then I start singing, "You're right up that hump." I think that's most of what you missed. You're all up to date now.
The main thing I responded to Polyester Pimp saying #1 is Ride to Hell Retribution, and I said, that can't be #1 because I haven't played it, unfortunately.
And I suggested that, oh, stream over, this is already a stupid list.
Hi, Pooch. Hi, Lochnar. Thanks again, Morel. Hi, Morel. Hi, Polyester Pimp. Hi, Wafidi. Clearly #1 will be Bible Black. I also haven't played Bible Black. I've watched it, I haven't played it. So, I haven't experienced the original, like, material for it. No. Sonic 06 is definitely not going on the top 100. Like, maybe as an honorable mention of how bad it is, that it maybe, like, broke my brain into thinking I had a good time.
#1, Galgun VR.
No. Definitely not Galgun VR. That game sucked.
I love that it was in a mobile perspective. It didn't even have the range of a VR game.
Yeah, Galgun VR is pretty bad. Anyways, this is the format that we're working with. I'm not really gonna be going in any particular order here. I'm just gonna be, like... I was saying, as I was muted, that I had made a top 100 list on Backlogged before. However, I put weird arbitrary restrictions on myself, and also it was definitely just kind of like thrown together without much thought. So, I want to try and get a more definitive top 100 list for myself. So, I'll be partially going off of that list that I had on Backlogged. There's more games that I've played in the recent year or two since I made that list. And yeah, I'll figure it out as I go, basically. Anyways, you want to know a game that's definitely a fucking lock? Bloodborne, baby. It's top of the pop, motherfuckers. Anyways, yeah, Bloodborne is 100% a lock for this list. Banjo-Kazooie is, like, gonna be in the probably makes it onto the list. I love Banjo-Kazooie a lot. However, there might be 99 or 100 other games that are better than it when I think about it.
I have 99 games, but Galgun VR is not one.
It's definitely not. Kingdom Hearts, probably not the entire series. A Kingdom Hearts game that's definitely a lock is Kingdom Hearts 2. That game, is this the incorrect opinion stream?
Yep.
You bet it is. Except it's not correct. As it states above, Jay's objectively correct top 100 video game list. Can't be debated. It is the truth that these are the greatest games of all time.
To her.
Now, one
was
that-
wrong.
Yes, I did see the pinned message. You're not the voice of God here, Sass. That's me.
KH25FM. I haven't heard them in a long time, but I miss their old work, really.
60 FPS 4K locked for Kingdom Hearts 2.
KH25FM, better than the rest. Megalomaniacal and harder than the best.
Maybe makes it onto the list as like Kingdom Hearts 1, but that I'm not sure about.
The last
Kingdom
boss rush is some shit. Like,
Here's the thing,
it goes from Babby game to like Dark Souls.
again, hun,
Yeah.
you had it easy. Mm-hmm.
And even then, I hated it. Even then, I gave up on it. Like,
Sass,
God.
I haven't played Birth by Sleep, so I can't put it on the list. That's gonna be like the big rule here, is if I have not played the game, it's not making it. It's not gonna be on
can't.
there.
Even if it is correct, it's false because you're not able to really give it that review.
Yeah, exactly.
Can't do it.
Let's see. But no, yeah, Kingdom Hearts 2 came out in that period of time that like was maybe the most impactful in video games for me. Like
Very impactful.
That shush you.
Never.
But like literally in my teens, I had like all three of the big consoles. I had a GameCube, I had an Xbox, I had a PS2, and I remember playing Kingdom Hearts 1, being really hype about it, and seeing all the like trailers and shit for Kingdom Hearts 2 and like being like, yeah! And then I finally got it. It's like,
When
yes,
they walk
this
away,
is-
they don't hear me say.
this is as good as the trailers all were. This is awesome. So it holds a very special place in my heart.
Fair enough. Jay is wrong. I love that.
Galgun 2 is definitely not my favorite game of all time.
101st. It was so close.
Galgun 2 is like, maybe Galgun VR can go into the suggestions because people are bringing it up, but it's almost definitely not making the list.
Like, you stayed for all the extra content, took pictures of the panties. You were there
It's-
for it.
I wouldn't say that I had a good time with it though.
Where do you think Gex 64 is going to rank? That's a very good question. It does
it's-
have the Twin Towers, so it fits our script, you know? It's...
Okay, I'm going to humor you all by putting some of these suggestions, at least the ones that I've played, into that column there. I have played Gex 64. I did play the Toki remake. They're not making it
Toki.
onto the list though. I have not played Kirby's Air Ride, unfortunately.
I hear it's good, though.
Metal Gear Rising is really fucking good.
Kirby Air Ride would be a fun one-off.
Metal Gear Rising maybe makes it onto the top 100 because it's really fucking good. Like, Metal Gear Rising is the secret best Metal Gear game. Like, you could say like one of the Metal Gear Solid ones is the best, but it's probably actually Rising.
Is that the one with, like, the really good soundtrack that you, like,
The
get real
like
hype
new
about?
metal soundtrack,
Yeah,
yes.
that sounds amazing.
Yes, it fucking rips.
One of these days I will play that, because that sounds very up my alley.
It's great. You have to get through the other Metal Gear Solid games before you can play
Okay.
that one.
Fair enough.
I can't wait for MGS3 to get announced at E3. I have not played Skies of Arcadia, unfortunately, so that one disqualified. Metal Gear Solid 3. I don't know what you mean by gets announced at E3. Metal Gear Solid 3, I think, is gonna be like in the maybe suggestions because that is my least favorite of the Metal Gear Solid franchise.
Really?
Like, it's good, but it does not hit me in the same way that it does for other people.
For sure.
Oh, they're remaking it. Okay. For sure. However, a Metal Gear Solid game that's definitely making the list is Metal Gear Solid 2.
Ah, there you go.
That is, again, I think I've recounted this story on stream before, but I remember playing that game for the first time. My uncle, who kind of got me into a lot of video games and anime, was visiting my family's house, brought his copy of Metal Gear Solid 2, and I stayed up for, like, the entire playthrough of it. Like, I started playing the game at, like, 8 at night or something like that, and I just fucking barreled through the entirety of it. And I hit the point where the fucking kernel, like, AI starts bugging out and telling me to turn off the system, and I was, like, having a legitimate fucking panic attack about it.
Yeah.
Like,
What a story.
It fucked me up a lot, but it's incredibly impactful, and probably the reason why I love metafiction so much is because of Metal Gear Solid 2.
Yeah, it sounds like that had a very impactful effect on you then.
Yeah, there's other reasons why I would put Metal Gear Solid 2, like, maybe in the top 10. At the very least, it's definitely made the list, but I can get to that once I start having to, like, narrow down choices.
Sounds good.
Did I play Drakengard 3 or Nier Replicant beyond what got streamed? Yes. I did not play any more of Drakengard 3, but I did play through the entirety of Replicant, and I did like that game a lot. However, I think that one is gonna go in the maybe suggestions for the time being.
But let's talk about Automata.
No, I mean, Nier Automata is a definite lock, but the reason why Replicant is more of a maybe is because I feel like Automata kind of perfects the things that Replicant was trying to do from a story perspective, and how that intertwined with game mechanics and just the tropes of video games and stuff like that.
For sure.
Like, Replicant feels like a blueprint, and Automata feels like the finished product.
I got you.
So it's really good, but there's still a lot of rough edges to Replicant that I had trouble with when I was playing through it.
Ooh, Yakuza 0.
Yakuza 0, I think for right now is gonna go in the maybes. I do like it a lot. I think part of my trouble with Yakuza 0 is when I first played through that, the person that was convincing me to play through it was treating it like it was literally one of the greatest video game stories
Was
ever
it
told.
Courtney?
It was Courtney.
course.
Like, bless his heart, he was doing his best to sell me on it, and I did end up enjoying it a lot, but it did not live up to the level of hype that he was giving it. And
Fair enough.
because of that, what is also gonna go in that area is Earthbound.
Uh-huh.
Earthbound had a very, very similar thing where I was like, fuck, you hyped this up way too much. I don't dislike this game, but it is not hitting me in the way that I think you're wanting it to hit me.
I very much had the opposite, like that I think is true, because I had the opposite experience with it. I was in a troubling time in like my 20s, like early 20s, still figuring shit out, and you know, basically in like failing adulthood, and I sat down with that game and because I know it's a notorious game, I'm like, let me just sit down and play this game, and I came out of it changed. I was like, this game spoke to me directly. I feel a kinship with this. This makes me know the magic of a youth I didn't have. Oh man, I've just felt so much shit because I went into it myself. I discovered it. But, you know, I didn't have someone breathing down my neck going, no bro, it's the best game ever. Holy shit. It was just...
Unfortunately, SAS Lightning Returns will not go on the list because I have never played through the entirety of any Final Fantasy game. I've started trying to play through Final Fantasy IX recently. However, I have not gone through the entirety of it.
Righto.
Just to acknowledge some of these. So, I mean, if we're gonna be talking about Metal Gear games, Metal Gear Solid 4 is gonna be in the maybe, if only because it has, like, top 10 best video game sequence of all time material in it.
Ooh, Undertale.
Undertale probably makes it on.
Mother 3.
Mother 3 is a lock. Mother 3
Yo.
is 100%.
That made us both cry on stream. That's a powerful
Mother 3
game.
is one of those video games that literally changed me. Like, the way that people talk about Earthbound was the way that I felt after having played Mother 3. Like, it just did hit me in a very, very hard way. Final Fantasy Tactics, unfortunately have not played Final Fantasy Tactics. Metal Gear Solid 1 is probably on the list. Sorry, just trying to catch up on some of these suggestions. Only been one game where Grand Theft Auto. I have not played Grand Theft Auto Online, and probably none of the Grand Theft Auto games are gonna make their way on here. Most likely. Maybe 3, because I did play a lot of that just fucking destroying shit. I don't know if I would describe it as like one of my top 100 video game experiences, though.
Anytime I've played any of the GTAs, I found that like all of the quests were not fun or well designed as gameplay. They kind of got in the way of my destruction. So that was like the least of it for me, was the actual game.
Sure.
But,
Silent Hill 1 is a maybe. Silent Hill 2 probably makes it on.
Ooh, throat hurt. I gotta grab some tea.
Yes. We're all out of throat coat.
That's okay.
Silent Hill 3 is a fucking lock. That is one of my earliest memories of a game where I'm like, holy shit, this is one of the best fucking things that I have ever experienced. I love this so much. Katamari Damacy for now is gonna be on the maybes. I really, really liked my time with that game, especially like just streaming it was great. Sonic 06 is not making it on. I'll put it in the suggestions since I already did it with other bad games.
More like Sonic 0 sucks.
Haven't played Dino Crisis 2. I have played Sonic Adventure 2 Battle. However, I would not classify that as one of the best games of all time. Like, Silent Hill 3, like, one, Heather is just such a good protagonist for that series. Like, I can't put into words the vibes, but she just has immaculate vibes. It's so good. Deep Rock Galactic. Have not played Deep Rock Galactic at all, actually. Let's see. Part of me wants to put Deltarune on here, but I feel like I shouldn't do that since technically all of that game is not out yet. Yeah, that's the thing. It's like, it's really, really good and probably going to be just as good as Undertale was, but it's not out yet. Are there any games I love purely out of its vibes before any other elements? I would have to look down the list. Street Fighter 3 Third Strike might be one of those games. Like, don't get me wrong, it's just a great fucking game in general, but like, I'm not good at it, and it's more a matter of like, the aesthetic and general fucking vibe of Third Strike is really, really good. Just, mwah. Just, you can sink your fucking teeth into it. And yeah, Polyester Pimp, like, Silent Hill 3 still fucking looks fantastic. Like, there's a lot of, like, PS2 games that have, like, aged pretty well, graphically, just because of like the art design or the art direction on it. But Silent Hill 3 is like maybe at the top of that list of games that you look at and you're like, Jesus fucking Christ, how is this a PS2 video game? This looks so good. My Terraria or Minecraft person at all? Nope. So that one unfortunately does not make the list.
You've never really been a sandbox gamer.
Yeah, I need to be in like very specific moods for that.
Yeah. I'm very much the music gamer. See, if I was sitting here, I'd piss everyone off with like, okay, we got frequency, amplitude, every DDR, just throw it all on there. In the groove, and just listing like rhythm games and shit.
I mean, if you want a rhythm game, that is probably gonna make it on the list. Poppin' Music Lapistoria.
You did like that.
Yeah, that Courtney had that when I was living with them and had like a proper like pop-in controller, and I got to play that like basically every day. Being able to play a rhythm game on like a proper rhythm game controller every day fucking rules.
Yeah.
It's so much fun.
No, I don't, Polyester Pimp. Unfortunately, I never quite got into it. Though I do love Europop, I don't think the Disney elements really clashed with me. Like, I think it's okay to mention, some friends have invited us to an outing where it's like, this sounds great. It sounds like a great kind of fun time, games and an orgy out in the hills. What do you mean it's pirate themed? I have to get behind
man,
pirate
it
stuff?
sucks.
Oh no. Oh no.
It's a fucking bummer.
So I'm like flip-flopping on, well, I want us to have fun and bond with our friends, but also I can't get past the pirate nature of it. That's such a girl boner killer. I just
I get it. In terms of Dark Souls related, like Soulsborne related things, I think the only three that I'm really putting in contention for like top 100, Bloodborne, Dark Souls 1, Elden Ring. Dark Souls 2 is good, Dark Souls 3 is very good. I don't know if they're quite top 100 in my opinion. Bree's officially not ducking hardcore.
I never duck hardcore. Hardcore
Yarr.
always goes.
Yarr, ye must get your legs pegged in order
Listen,
to get pegged.
If you saw their webpage, it's on the nose. That's the worst part. They are so dedicated to that. It's so rough.
Pooch.
I love puns, and I was like, dog, I can't.
Pooch, you are right. Super Mario Sunshine is a lock.
I'm outta
It's so good. I fucking love Super Mario Sunshine, and no one can ever tell me otherwise.
You can still be wrong about it.
I know I can. I do not agree with the notion that I am incorrect. On that topic though, Super Mario Odyssey is pretty good. I like that game a lot. Super Mario World, pretty damn
one.
good.
That's a solid game.
Super Mario World, fucking good.
Yeah.
It's
You can go back and play it and go, yeah, this was alright.
It's pretty damn good. Shine on, it's Super Mario Sunshine Wednesday.
It's Wednesday, my dudes.
I've not played any Chibi Robo, and the only Kirby game I think I've ever played to completion is 64.
I played Superstar, that was my main one.
Which, I mean, if we're going off of recommendations, I can put Kirby 64 in the maybe.
Alright. You almost said Kirby maybe 4.
No, I accidentally hit the M button when I was hitting space key.
Gotcha.
I've not played either of those with Edie. Let's see, so I'm just looking down the list that I have on backlogged here. You know what game is probably a pretty solid lock? Advance Wars 2. I played the absolute shit out of that game. That also came out around the same time as like those GameCube, GameCube PS2 era, and I love the hell out of it.
Sure.
It's so fun. And it's also just a lot smoother gameplay-wise. Like I I think at some point after I played through it, I tried going back to Advance Wars 1, and there's just a lot of like really small gameplay things that make it way more of a hassle to play through. Like, and it's like super minute things.
Sure, it's always that.
That I would do and be like, oh, why does it work this way? Animal Crossing Animal Crossing New Horizons, I'm pretty sure is a lock.
Like, it's weird. I'm done with it. I wouldn't play it now. I kind of got everything I was going to out of it, but it did help us get through a really rough couple of years.
Yeah, it got us through the worst periods of COVID. So it probably makes it on the list. Most likely. Yes, there's one. Okay. Pokemon Crystal specifically, like, I'm pretty sure that one is a lock for me. I'm just being a little bit trepidatious on it, but Pokemon Crystal is made better by the fact that Pokemon like Red and Blue came out before it, because you play through those games, you do your 8 gyms, you take care of the Elite Four.
Yeah.
Then you wait a few years, the new wave like of Gold, Silver, Crystal comes out, and you play through those. You go through the same thing, and you're like, okay, yeah, it's probably just gonna be, the same cycle. You beat the Elite Four in your town, and suddenly it's like, oh, no. Hey, remember that whole ass world from the last game? Guess what? You can get to that in this game. And, like, as a 12-year-old, I'm playing this and, like fucking mind-blown shit. Like, it was fucking insane the first time that happened to me. Like, it's just those small little magic moments that you... It's kind of like in Elden Ring, when you find, like, the underground world for the first time, where you're like, are you fucking kidding me? You're telling me that they're on top of this massive map that keeps expanding. There's a whole nother section to this world.
Yeah.
This is insane. So it's very similar to that, yeah. Yes, like Pyrocat is saying, it's like when the map zooms out, you're just like, fucking what?
Sure.
Excuse me, what, mate? Let's see.
Fucking what?
You fucking what? So, going down this list that I have to the side here. Dang that grandpa.
Dang him,
V3.
grandpa.
Killing Harmony. Pretty sure that one is gonna be a lock, but I'm just gonna trepidatiously put it on the middle row for right now, but it's really good. I don't want to spoil too much about it because it's one of those games where you are best going into it blind if you have played through the other games, but like, it's one of those games that is incredibly divisive, and I absolutely adore that about it. You get to the ending of it, and you either hate it, or you're like, yes, this is my shit. Just shovel this into my mouth. The other two Danganronpa games I don't think make the list. Like, they're both pretty good, but they don't top the high that I felt when I played through V3 for the first time. Is it time to break open the VN genre? I mean, I don't have a ton of them that I think go on the list. There's a few. I would need to actually scroll down. We Know the Devil, I'm pretty sure, makes the cut. Have you played any of Kodaka's other games, or just... Admittedly, I've only played the Danganronpa games. I don't know which other ones he worked on outside of that. I'm very excited for Rain Code. That one's coming out this summer, so I'm looking forward to that. But yeah, We Know the Devil is almost definitely a lock. Trying to see which other visual novel games I had on here. Lady Killer in a Bind is probably on that list.
We have really good memories of that.
Yeah,
Like my first time
we
playing
played that game together.
Yeah, it
That
was
was like almost like first date material,
yeah,
I think.
yeah, that's right. We hadn't moved out quite yet. We hadn't quite lesbian U-hauled yet. You were
Yeah.
at my folks' place, and we were in my bedroom, and like we were just laying in bed together and just playing that through that, and it was a really. I get gooey whenever I hear the soundtrack. Like I just really nice memory. So yeah.
Certain someone in the chat who might be away at the moment is gonna disagree with me, but I really, really like Doki Doki Literature Club. I don't know if it makes it into the top 100, but I really, really like it. Any licensed games that I'm fond of. Give me just a moment and I'll look that up. I'm trying to get the visual novels out of the way here. Secret Little Haven. Let's see. I mean, Ace Attorney. Oh. Ace Attorney Investigations.
I don't know if it's this way for you, but on my list I would definitely like actually put like Beat Saber and like Super Hot VR. Those for me were like that was the games for that system where it was like VR has become everything we were promised it would be in 90s movies. You know, it was this like feeling of like I am properly immersed in this shit and I still go back and like want to play them. So
Super Hot VR maybe makes it, but
I'm the rhythm game person, I understand.
I already like Super Hot like original enough that probably makes it onto the list.
Fair enough. VR was my first Super Hot, so that also has some
Yeah.
yeah.
Ah, damn it.
Like I've already done this as me. I've been in
Never played Mr. Mosquito, so that one unfortunately doesn't make the cut.
Feel the magic.
I guess Phoenix. Oh god.
Phoenix.
Phoenix Bright 1.
Phoenix.
I'm just gonna number them because it's easier than doing the full titles, and Phoenix Wright 3. If I'm gonna put any of those on there. Licensed games.
Gotta love those licensed games. Not bad. You already have that, right?
I actually don't have that on the list yet. I have it on this list here, but not in the document there.
Righto. I have to say, I never played any of the extra DLC, but like that game in its entirety, it was one of those like, this is why you put off a game until it's done. It was beautifully executed. It was one of those things, much like Pizza Tower, I felt, where it was like, I'm glad they took the time to make this and, you know, get this out there the way they wanted it to. It's oh man. I much also why I can't wait for Bomb Rush Cyberpunk, because it seems like they're really fucking putting in the time on that.
The closest thing to a licensed one I think I have would be like one of the NBC games. Which in this case for me it's Marvel Superheroes versus Street Fighter. Like, that game is like just before the MVC2.
Sure.
Before MVC2 came out, and it's like, it's as fun as those games, but without like the levels. Like MVC2 is kind of too much. Like it's really good, but there's so much shit going on at any given time on a screen that it can become like too much to handle. I've played some of Sly Cooper 1, but it did not stick with me enough. Castlevania Symphony of the Night is, if I'm being honest, probably not gonna make the list. Like, it's really good, but it's not my Castlevania of choice, because my Castlevania of choice is Order of Ecclesia, if that's how I spell it.
I think mine was Toho Luna Nights, though I didn't
one,
fully get through it.
One too many S's.
Too hard. I know good
But-
at games.
Yeah, I think my... I'm trying to remember which games I played. I played Circle of the Moon. That was my first Castlevania game because that one came out on the GBA and that was like one of its launch titles. And then after that I played Order of Ecclesia, which is fucking awesome. Has like a really good like system to it where like you can like equip like sets of cards and like the cards can like manipulate each other and have like different effects, and it's the same thing in Circle of the Moon. So like there's this fun like modular element to it where you can like find ways to like grind a bunch on enemies. It's a lot of fun. I enjoy it a lot. It's been a very long time since I played it, so admittedly that one's pretty heavily influenced by nostalgia. Let's see here. Oh yeah, let me look back on some of the ones that people have suggested. Did not play SSX3 or Tricky, or I think I like tried like emulating Tricky at one point,
Yeah.
and it ran like absolute shit at the time. It was real bad. But I've never played Jedi Knight.
SSX
I
Tricky
did
was
not.
fun on the PS2, though. That's all I played at.
Didn't play La Milana, didn't play Aria of Sorrow, so going back down the list. Where's the last?
You would think as a trans person that I played Elise, but I always played as the psychotic guy with the piercings.
Wait, which game?
Oh, SSX Tricky.
Oh,
My piercings are whistling! I was a very alt child, so I was like, yeah,
Yeah.
no, this is my representation. Psychopathy.
Transistor, and on that topic, Hades, and probably Bastion. Although Bastion is probably more of a maybe as opposed to a definite. Doki Doki is up there at this point. I know, as I was alluding to, there's one person in this chat who will 100% disagree with that.
And she can make her own list.
Yeah, she could make her own top 100 list.
Being as she mainly plays Kusoge, I can't imagine what it would look like, but I imagine she plays good games too.
If I'm being honest with you, Wafidi, I have all those games by that developer, like Ico, Shadow of the Colossus, Last Guardian. I have not played any of those. I think I played like a very, very, very small amount of Shadow of the Colossus, but like that is it. Not enough to like feel any strong attachment to it.
That's fair enough.
It's a very big hole in my library that I need to fill, admittedly, because I know a lot of people swear by those games, and I'll get to it at some point, but haven't gotten to it yet. No, as far as I know, I've never played Shadow of the Colossus on stream. The Legend of Zelda Breath
Feels.
of the Wild.
Breath of Fire.
And on that note, I think what probably is a lock is Ocarina of Time. I've not played Donkey Kong Country Tropical Freeze. Sorry, can't go on the list. I'm sorry, Lochnar. I'm sorry. Classic Sonic game / Mania. I don't know if I would put any of them on the list. I think they're okay. The only one that, like, the only classic style, like, Sonic game that I think I would maybe put on top 100 is, like, Sonic Advance 2.
That kind of has what Mania did, and is sort of like, this is running with, like, the best considerations of classic Sonic put into effect.
Yeah,
Essentially.
essentially. I would agree with that.
Like, I think that was one of my favorite things that we played during the first 24-hour stream, which we promise another one's coming. We need to get money.
We
together.
gotta schedule the time for it.
Yeah, and we want to have what to throw down ourselves as well. So we are working on it. I'm sorry I got COVID. It was not planned.
Please don't apologize for that.
I'm having a giggle.
Two knocks I have on Doki is that it doesn't hit as hard if you're not super into VNs, and that it felt like the writer thought it was really saying something. I mean, I could probably agree with the first point, but I don't know that I agree with the second point. Like, it gets a little bit pretentious, like, in the final act of it. But, like, if you're doing a metafiction game where you're breaking the fourth wall, you're gonna be a little bit pretentious. Like, that's just kind of...
That's fair. That comes with the territory.
Yeah, it comes with the territory. Whenever you're breaking down the nature of fiction in your piece of fiction, you're gonna, like, come across, like, a little bit wanky.
A little wanky. We'll allow a little jank and wank in our VNs.
I don't agree with that, Lochnar. I don't think that game hates the VN genre.
I mean, I imagine it would need to have some, some knowledge and some background with it already to come up with the concept.
Yeah.
Like, it in itself kind of acknowledges enough of it that a hatred for it would mean they wouldn't have the familiarity to create it, is my guess. Not denouncing what you're saying, just my personal guess on that.
As for no other Zelda games I like as much as those two, not so much that. Those are just the only two I've played to completion.
I'm gonna complete.
I've played a chunk of Wind Waker before, but never finished it. And that's kind of it.
For sure.
Those are like the only three Actually, no, I did the same for Twilight Princess, where I played a chunk of it and then just didn't follow through. What? Aww.
We have a sleepy cinnamon roll underneath us.
Let's see. I play a lot of Twine and Parser text games, which all suffer from Arthur Smort say about Big Issue. Yeah.
Yeah, and love it. Hell yeah.
Let's see. One that's probably a lock is Super Smash Bros. Ultimate. You know how much time I put into that game.
I do.
I
know how many hours you've spent kicking my ass left and right.
I think it is the best Super Smash Bros. Game that they have ever put out. Like, Melee, I have fond memories of. Same with Brawl, same with 64, but...
I used to play Melee on, like, the tiny GameCube flip-up screen.
Oh my god.
Yeah, with my sister. It was so hard to play on that, but it was a lot of fond memories when we were just, like, out and about on vacations.
But, like, Ultimate just scratched every itch that I had in the back of my brain when it came to those games. It's really, really good.
Panel Upon.
Panel Upon is a lock.
That has to go on there.
100% a lock. One that's probably a maybe is Fire Emblem Three Houses. One that I'm pretty sure is also a lock is Valhalla. Like, pretty sure Valhalla is a lock for me. Like, it's on the old list that I made for it. It was like number 6. So
wow, yeah, then that has to be on there.
It's pretty high up there. Which, speaking of, I skipped over Bayonetta. Bayonetta is a lock.
It's a good one.
And a maybe would be Bayonetta. Bayonetta 2.
Bayonetta.
Bayonetta 2 is also very good. I don't like it as much as Bayonetta 1. Controversial opinion, I know. Burnout 3 Takedown. Because one of the things with Burnout 3 is one, it just had a good alt soundtrack for the time that it came out, and also I had that game on the Xbox, and back on the original Xbox, you could burn your own CDs onto the memory of
yeah.
it. So you could
God.
literally set fucking custom soundtracks for that game. So you could just be, I would be tearing ass through there listening to My Chemical Romance, and it owned. It was so good.
Wow.
And the other thing is that's like when the Burnout 3 was like the perfect middle ground where like Paradise like was a little bit too much of everything, because they are like incorporating like a bunch of like open world elements to it, all kinds of different shit.
Sure.
God damn it. I hear this song and I just hear the Rick Astley version of it and it sucks.
I'll be honest, I haven't been wearing headphones this whole time.
Oh, they're right there. I'm listening to the Chrono Trigger soundtrack, so it's perfect for you.
Oh, Bisky's asleep on the wire. I can't.
Aw.
It's okay. I'm gonna let Cinnamon Roll rest.
But like Burnout 3 was just good visceral destruction, and it felt great.
And who doesn't love that?
The Resident Evils, admittedly, I have only played more of like the approachable like new school ones. I've played the 2 and 3 remake, I've played the original Resident Evil 4, and I played some of Resident Evil 5. And the only ones likely to make it onto the list are the 2 and 3 remake. It's been long enough since I played the original RE4 that I don't know if I feel comfortable putting it onto the list.
For sure.
Like, I know I enjoyed it, but I
Yeah.
also know that there were a lot of parts in that game that pissed me off when I was a kid in a not fun way.
Fair enough. I have a question. Are
what's
you
that?
allowing arcade cabinets? For
Yes.
example, like, how do you feel about, like, Time Crisis? Time Crisis 2.
Time Crisis 2 is almost definitely making it onto the list.
Hell yeah.
Time Crisis 2 fucking rules. Here's the thing, not a lot of arcade cabinets are going to make it on, and just in general, a lot of old video games
Yeah.
aren't going to make it on, but Time Crisis 2, mwah, beautiful.
That's the one I played with you, right?
Possibly.
Yeah, we went down to the arcade and we played some of that.
Yes.
I remember when we were at SAS.
When
Yeah.
SAS was visiting. But yeah, Time Crisis 2 is one of those ones that if I walk into an arcade and I see that one there, I'm going to be playing some fucking Time Crisis. Like, guaranteed. So that one's definitely on the list. And then I'll put maybe Resident Evil 3 Remake. Doom 2016. Really, I should put Doom 2016 as a lock, but just for sake of fairness, I'm gonna just leave it as a probably for the time being. But Doom 2016, it's fucking good.
Nice.
It's real fucking good. Nice. Shotgun go boom. you dash at people, you make the bloody mess. It is what you want of like something trying to emulate like more of an old school like first person shooter, where it just kind of cuts out the bullshit. It has a story, but it executes it perfectly by not really fully engaging with itself on that story level,
Sure.
which is where Doom Eternal fucks up, because Doom Eternal takes itself way too seriously from a story perspective to the point that like once it really gets into it, you're like, no, I don't care.
No, yeah.
I just want to be the Doom guy and go around shooting things.
And here's the other thing, especially coming after Doom 2016, which was, I'm sorry, perfect game. You know, I played that on the proper,
Also,
like,
hi,
recommended...
Evie.
Hey, I played it on the recommended difficulty, played all the way through, loved the hell out of it. There were challenges, but I felt like I wanted to get through it. There are creative ways. You get to choose how to clear a fucking room. When they put the restrictive, this is how you're supposed to play it or it won't be fun, that also isn't fun. I felt like a lot of what I loved about Doom was the wanton destruction that I chose to do, but when you have a task list, it's like, this isn't...
Yeah.
Like, following the other, that wasn't fun for me. And the
Yeah.
fucking Marauders. fuck the fucking Marauders. I tried again to play through it on my own without a stream, and that was where I was like, I hate this.
Pyrocat, it's probably not gonna go on the Discord after the stream because I suspect I probably won't get through the entirety of this by the time we're done. Because we haven't even like gotten all the choices I feel on here, so it's probably gonna be a couple streams of this. Spelunky HD or Spelunky 2? Spelunky HD, Spelunky 2. I do have some fond memories of when Sass was visiting us. Like, towards the end of the night, I would pop an Eddie, and me and her would just be hanging out on the couch, like, fucking around in that game, just having completely dead runs, but just having a blast.
Hell yeah.
Like, fucking around in those dead runs.
That sounds like the perfect way to enjoy that game.
Yeah. The Beginner's Guide. And in addition to that, the Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe. That dude's games are really, really good. I gotta look up the Chrono Trigger OST because the song is cribbing from Ryuichi Sakamoto. I mean...
Let us tell you the many ways.
Hold on just a moment here. Shala's theme.
I came to Jay with an idea. She had the musical knowledge to properly execute it.
We've played it on stream before.
But we're playing it again.
Probably turn it a bit more up.
Make sure that isn't blowing out the thing, though.
I don't think it is. I could probably bring it down like just a little bit.
Sure.
Anyways, I've not played Dr. Langskov the Tiger. I don't believe I've even heard of whichever game that is. That is certainly a new one for me.
I don't know that I've heard that either. And I love me some obscure shit.
Sorry, but I know everyone has a lot of people have kind of turned on it recently, but I still have a little bit of a warm place in my heart for Persona 4. And on that note, also Persona 3 FES. Oh, it's a freebie from the Stanley Parable, folks. I think I will take note of that then. 1 second here. Dr. Langskov. Okay, I see it. Got it. Okay, and Wafidi links a Ryuichi Sakamoto. No, that's not what I want to do.
No.
Liberty Mutual customizes your car insurance.
Oh god, we have up the wrong browser tab.
Why did it open in fucking Microsoft Edge?
What the
What
fuck?
the shit? I didn't even think I had it installed on here.
God damn. We need to fix that.
Yeah. Anyways. This song is a Civagunner rip that Bree and I did. Basically, it's Merry Christmas, Mr. Lawrence, but stylized after Shala's theme from Chrono Trigger.
That kind of reverbing drum that you hear there, that's in that song, or at least a few renditions of that song by Ryuichi Sakamoto. I realized, oh man, that sounds like the Bone Door opening, so I had to find the exact sound font, sort through it, and go, there it is. Perfect.
One that I'm pretty sure is a lock is PT, which that was the small little horror game thing that
Thank you.
Kojima put out. that was supposed to be a teaser trailer for a Silent Hill game that never came to be and ended up. It's essentially lost media now at this point, where like if you don't have it, you'll never have it. One that also probably makes the list. We're currently doing a playthrough of it, but it's really fucking good. Valkyria Chronicles. Celeste most likely makes the list. Outer Wilds probably makes the list. I mean, Sleeping Dogs almost definitely makes the list.
We had such a wonderful time with that game.
I had so much fucking fun playing through that game on stream that there was no way it wasn't gonna end up being like one of my favorite games of all time.
Whether it's what it provided or what we brought to it, it brought us
Yes.
so much joy. And
Exactly.
what fun that was.
And then a game that we were streaming at a certain point, but we ended up falling off because it was around the time that we just stopped streaming.
Normally,
Yeah. Paper Mario The Thousand Year Door, which, on that topic, the original Paper Mario 64, is probably
Wafidi
there.
makes a fair point, too.
What's that?
Oh, Umatsu was flat out sampling and crunching Hammond organs from the SNES sound font, so I wouldn't be surprised if there ever went through some of the same synths as Sakamoto. That's fair. There might be some crossover there, actually.
And Eevee actually makes another good point in regards to PT. That game explains, like, just every single first-person horror game that came out, like, in... God, it's been like 10 years since PT came out, huh? Oh, that fucks me up.
What, that image?
No, it has almost been 10 years since PT came out.
God damn.
The passage of time is terrifying.
It is.
Anyways, but yeah, that explains why every, like, first-person horror game that has come out in the decade since is the way that it is because of PT and how well it did that.
Righto.
Would you put Death Stranding on this list? I have not played Death Stranding yet, so it unfortunately is disqualified. Keep talking and nobody explodes.
That is very fun.
You didn't like it. Don't try and act like you thought it was a fun game.
It was fun as far as I played it.
I
then
remember we streamed it and you I feel like you did not have a good time, like, trying to play through that with me.
It streamed well because, you know, with any duo playing that getting flustered, it was funny.
Sure.
I will say, I'm in no hurry to do it again. It's kind of one of those things where, like, once I got the basis of how it operated, I was like,
Sure.
okay, I get it.
Yeah.
It was an I get it
But
game.
a lot of the fun of it is, I think, that journey of discovery of, like, figuring out the ways to communicate these things between the two of you
That
and
is fair.
stumbling over those things.
For sure.
Like, it's fucking great mixed media video gaming. I've not played either of the Zone of the Enders games. There's gonna be a lot of blank spots in my video game knowledge here. I've played a lot of video games. I've not played a lot of stuff that probably people will consider, like, part of the canon of games. I heard the Merry Christmas, Mr. Lawrence, and could have sworn at some point it was in a game, but I don't know. So we took parts of the original Shala's theme and incorporated it into that version of Merry Christmas, Mr. Lawrence, like
Oh, yeah.
that like synth line that comes in towards the end of, like, da, 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 da.
Here's the thing, I didn't know how to make my particular sound font sampler do a pitch slide, so I had to do that manually and make it sound like the game. And I'm proud of that. I nailed that. But
I have played Journey, and I think that Journey definitely goes on, like, almost definitely makes the list. Like,
sure.
Journey's good.
Journey was for a lot of people what I think Rez was for me. Like, I didn't
How
really...
so?
Well, because I didn't really I don't know. I played a little Journey. I had kind of a bad time with it also
Well,
when
I mean,
watched someone play it.
describe Res for you.
So for me, it's just this kind of very drifting kind of, not, I don't want to say hypnotic, but like kind of meditative and very just like entrancing, wonderful situation wherein you are just, I don't even really know how to put it. It is just kind of a relaxing but also kind of enticingly fun way to just zone out into a thing, you know, and just let it kind of become this ethereal world around you. I remember I also once had like a beautiful fever dream where I was actually playing it from the perspective of the thing floating around, like trying to fix the viruses. I've always loved being in that kind of space of just like that secluded, the buildup of like the first track buggy running beeps where like you start kind of getting these elements building up and then it just goes full force inertia. The weird little like battle sequences after like the fifth part becomes this more constructed world. It's so fucking beautiful.
Yeah, so there's parts of that I definitely do feel like Journey falls into, but I think the thing that ends up like really driving Journey home is the like sudden inclusion of like mild co-op elements with like people that you don't know. Like that part to me is the part that like ends up making it more, allowing it to become more of an individual like story.
Sure.
Where like it introduces the second player that is just like random person that happens to be online at the same time as you. They just drop you in there.
Oh wow.
And like you all like can kind of communicate with one another but not really. And then there ends up just being a certain story point in there where they are taken away from you.
Oh jeez.
Yeah. And like just having that little addition like really adds to the way. No, yeah, I saw what she said and I'm not gonna acknowledge it.
Go ahead.
But it just really allows for like that kind of Bisky.
Give me this.
Really allows for that kind of storytelling that you don't get as you're blinding the people on streams. No, I haven't played that game, Sass, and I'm never going to play that game. Also, just to spite you, I put this on my maybe on the list.
Also, later after the stream, I'll share that dog photo on the Discord. It's really cute.
For sure.
She like,
Oh. Let's see. Return of the Obra Dinn is really, really good. I have not played Elite Beat Agents either. There's a lot of games that like people swear by, and I just unfortunately have not touched. Stop swooning over the puppy.
our daughter is so cute.
She is. She's very adorable. Journey was one I wish I liked more than I did. Ultimately, I only met one person online at the time, and we went through a rather linear part of the game, which there were more exploratory moments, but felt what was there wasn't well implemented. For sure. Part of me wants to put it in the maybe, but Life is Strange was... I don't know if Life is Strange is a good video game. However, at the time that it came out, was like around the time that I started to put the threads together of my queerness. And the ending of that game very much kind of drove home that with me and was like a very eye-opening moment where I was like, ah, shit, yeah, man, this game's good. Like, I picked the bad ending, but it's also like an extremely queer ending where I'm like, yeah, hell yeah, this is good. This is good as hell. And it's definitely not intentionally meant to... No, it's not that, Sass. It's not that. Anyways, There's a podcast out there somewhere where someone who sounds a lot like me adamantly argued that EVA is one of the best games ever made. That's a very specific sentence. Somewhere, podcast out there somewhere where someone who sounds a lot like me adamantly argued that it's one of the best games of all time. So Eevee's doppelganger is out there somewhere adamantly arguing for Elite Agents being a phenomenal game.
For sure.
Let's see here. This is another one of those fucking like pandemic games, but god damn it. Clubhouse Games 51 Worldwide Classics was a goddamn banger when that game came out. Like, it's so good. Like, I love it. I love it so much. I love it so much. Like, it's the game that helped me learn how to play Mahjong and appreciate Mahjong.
17 and older. Club Penguin, 8.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay, gotcha. I've literally never played Club Penguin.
Nor have I.
Closest I got to that was Habbo Hotel.
Number one video game, Putt Putt Goes to the Moon. Fucking fight me.
Maybe Deus Ex Human Revolution. You got robot arms and you could very, very violently brutalize men with your robot arms, and that part's kind of funny. It's also a pretty good fun stealth game.
Right on.
Like, it's not amazing, and I admittedly have never played the original Deus Ex, and that would probably be higher ranked for me and is arguably a way more important. You can throw refrigerators, that's another good one. You can throw refrigerators at people, and that's pretty cool.
I'll say I've never been like a James Bond fan, but the thing that I really loved about something like GoldenEye was that it was the first game I played that you could shoot the hats off of people. And that, I think, for me was a very defining moment in video games. Not only can I shoot at the enemy, I can shoot off their hat. Iconic, amazing.
Anyways, because she mentioned it and we did play it, I put Wacky World of Golf on there.
leaving.
It's not... Don't worry, there's plenty of games like that one that aren't gonna make it in the maybe suggestions. Like, we got Toki, we got Gex, we got Galgun. Those ain't fucking making it.
Yeah.
And neither is Wacky World of Golf. However, I will humor people. Soul Calibur 2. I played that game a lot. I really fucking love Soul Calibur 2. Like, I think I maybe 100% at that game.
Who did you main?
Talim.
I could see it.
Like, I fucking love playing as that character. It's so much fun.
Sure.
Like, that's another... the GameCube version, specifically. So, the one where the bonus character is Link. So,
yeah.
the GameCube had Link.
One of them had
PlayStation-
Yoda, right?
No, you're thinking of Soul Calibur 4.
All right.
Soul Calibur 2, GameCube had Link. PS2 had Heihachi. The Xbox had Spawn.
That's such a cool thing when they just like put in those different properties. That's interesting.
Anyways, it's really fucking good. And like there's just so much side content in that game that like me as a 12-year-old like just milked the shit out of.
Sure.
Oh, Spawn didn't have the cape. Evie says, who cares? Which is completely fair. Another one from that same era that is almost definitely a lock is Mario Kart Double Dash. that game is so much fun. It is the best Mario Kart game, and that's saying a lot because Mario Kart 8 is really fucking good. But like it was a 2-player Mario Kart game where like you could like swap around, like you had 2 characters to a kart and you could swap them around, and like they each had like unique items that they could get like from the item boxes. Like Double Dash is for me where Mario Kart like really finally came into its own as a game. Like
Wow.
I enjoyed the Super Nintendo one. I enjoyed the Mario Kart 64, but fucking Double Dash is so much fun. Let's see here. Original Soul Calibur was gonna have Cloud, but Square wouldn't let them have it for PS2. Weird. One thing I love about Soul Calibur 2 is that it had a niche and varied combat system, but it wasn't impossible to get really good at. Yes, that's another thing I also really liked about it. Oh.
What?
I mean, this message is odd. Shovel Knight and X Cross Arby's crossover DLC. However, Lochnar brings up a good point, which is Shovel Knight.
Yeah.
I think that one is probably more of a maybe than anything else, but it should be brought into the conversation.
I did really love Shovel Knight. I played through that on my own and I had a wonderful time.
And that was also like one of the first playthroughs we did back when we were treating this like more like a straight up Let's Play channel.
Oh yeah, back in the recording era. Yeah. I remember it fondly. It's still a really good game.
Oh. Wait, what? I guess that was 2 years. Was there actually Shovel Knight Arby's crossover DLC? What?
I did not know.
What are you talking about? I have not played any of the Xenogears games. Like, any of that whatsoever. Let's see, what else do we have here?
You're dragging Shovel Knight.
No, it's okay.
Okay.
Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 3.
Hell yeah. You want to talk about a
Frankly-
game franchise that introduced me to ska punk and did a wonderful job of it?
Like,
so good.
Quite frankly, I should have that one in the locks, but just for fairness and because I have not seriously played that game since it like first came out,
For me, I
I'll
have to
put it in the
imagine.
probably.
I have to imagine for me, it's more about the nostalgia of the time and the music, the soundtrack.
Oh yeah,
Solid as fuck.
100%.
I was never good at it.
Sure. But I think I got pretty good at it, but like it's so fucking good. It is that format of skating game like perfected. Like, don't get me wrong, Tony Hawk 2 is really good, but
I played the hell out of Thug 1. Like, that was the... Yeah, that's the thing. A lot of people are divided on whether they gave a shit or didn't of that game. I was a give a shit. I was in that category. Again, the character customization was really good for that. At least, you know, unfortunately, I've heard that it wasn't as good for the, you know, knew they were women people. But, so if I go back now, I'd probably be like, oh.
And here's another one that I'm gonna put on this list that is gonna require me to show some video on stream.
Oh, yeah.
But that's okay.
Let's go.
Fucking Def Jam Fight for New York 100% is making it on this list.
Hell yeah.
Like, this shit was so goddamn cool when I was a teenager. Like, the finishers, it took like the fucking, because the thing with like wrestling games is they're all pretty like, you know what a lot of finishers look like in wrestling, but
Yeah.
like, because they could just do a lot more fucking wacky bullshit with
Yeah.
this like licensed hip-hop like fighting game, they could get a lot more balls out with it, and all of the finishers in this game are so fucking good. There's one particular one, I think it might be Ghostface's.
I don't know if he's ever been that buff, though.
What's Snoop Dogg?
Yeah.
I mean, a lot of these individuals have probably not. Like, Snoop Dogg is doing like flips and shit. It's so cool.
He's
Def
like-
Jam Fight for New York is so fucking good.
Diggity diggity,
It's-
taste the meat and the heat.
It's so fucking good. I will,
It is a wonderful game.
like,
Just so fucking raw.
oh my god.
Play as your favorite rapper beating the shit out of everyone. It's just magical.
Kicks absolute ass. Like, I still love it with the same sincerity that I did as a kid. Wait, I think...
What?
Yeah.
Oh god.
That one's really good. The redneck one is really good. Just punches a dude several times in the balls, throws him to the ground, and then fucking punts him like a football in the nuts.
Oh my god.
Have I seen that clip from Snoop when he live streamed this game and found out he gets murdered? No, I have not. Oh man,
Zoom
you
in
got
on those Sims. Yeah.
so good. So we got Busta Rhymes. I'm trying to think who had like the really good ones. Is it this one? Oh my god. I need to find... Oh god, we got Bone Crusher in the mix. Cali Park, Bubba Sparks. Where is this? No, where's fucking Ghostface? I want to say Ghostface has like one of my favorite ones. But I need to find him. Oh god. Right, I forgot that Flava Flav was in this one specifically. Come on, where's the fucking... Are these just your favorites? Show me the ones I want to see. I don't care about... Ah! No, yeah! Furkung, this is a fucking fantastic fighting game. Like, that's the other thing, like... Don't get me wrong, all the bombacity of, like, these finishers are, like... part of what endears me to it, but also it's just a fucking good fighting game. Like, you don't get a lot of like Western developed... No, yeah, here's the thing, I'm not gonna unmute this because there's probably a lot of licensed music that will get the stream muted.
The reason we haven't played this on stream is purely because of that. Came out before streamer mode existed.
Or maybe it was Noriega that had like, yeah, this one's fucking good. God.
Oh god.
Elbow drop on that bitch. Where's the... I need to find Ghostface. Like, Yes, here he is. I want to say Ghostface maybe has my favorite. It's like either him or DMX. God!
Oh, the backbreaker,
so
the head
good!
slam. Oh my god.
That's a suplex free.
I didn't say anything wasn't. You were referring to something else.
I'm referring to something that happened off stream.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. That wasn't me claiming that.
Anyways, so this definitely makes the cut in terms of like getting on the list is Def Jam. It's Def Jam Fight for New York. I have not played it since then. However, I know that I would love it. Like, I feel it in my bones that I would still love this game. Bree, I saw what you did there. You cheesy bitch.
You know me. Me and my half on camera face. That's me.
Dead Cells is pretty good. Do you feel like putting Mr. Bones on this list?
No.
I'll put it on there because I've done the same with other bad games. It doesn't make the list. It's definitely not making the cut. Mark of the fucking Ninja. is a really good stealth game. Like there in Mark of the Ninja, you can get a like mask that makes it so that whenever enemies see the bodies that you killed, they get like fucking scared. Like typically they see like dead bodies on the ground and go into alert mode, but there's one where it makes them so they're terrified. So and when they get terrified, they will occasionally like just shoot wildly, and it'll help you they will just accidentally kill their own teammates. It's
Oh, God.
fucking great. I love it. Mark of the Ninja rules.
Wild.
Is a good ass video game. Maybe is Prey. I think it came out in 2017. It's pretty good. I don't know if it makes it onto the list, but it's pretty good.
Yeah.
Probably makes it. Does Chrono Trigger probably... Actually, did I put Chrono Trigger on the list earlier?
It should be on there.
That's your opinion.
Uh-huh.
We're talking about my
correct
take.
opinion.
At the very least, it makes it into the proper...
Yeah.
into the probably makes it on. You know what doesn't? And is solely a maybe? Super Metroid. And she's gone. Super Metroid is good. I don't get it. It does not hit me the same way that it does for everyone else. However, in complete fairness, the first Metroid game I ever played, Metroid Fusion, also is kind of only a maybe, I think. It's good, but it's kind of too linear for a Metroid type game. However, Metroid Prime, that's a video game. I want to talk about a fucking atmosphere on a game. No, again, let me point to the name of this document that I got here. Jay's objectively correct top 100 video game list. You cannot prove otherwise. Anyways, another one that's probably a lock. Fucking F-Zero GX. That game rules! F-Zero GX is so fucking good. Like, that game is uncontrollable, but it feels amazing. It is maybe my favorite racing game of all time, just because of how well it captures the feeling of what it would probably be like to drive in an F-Zero game. Like, it would not be wieldy. It would be like super all over the fucking place. Like, you would not be able to handle it. But it's so good. F-Zero GX is so good. I love the shit out of it. Where's Bree?
Grabbing some water.
Oh, okay. Now, what's another one that, LSD Dream Emulator. I have no idea how to describe LSD Dream Emulator than saying, you should probably play it. You should if you have not seen or played LSD Dream Emulator, you should probably try it out.
I thought it was Simulator.
No, it's Dream Emulator.
Oh, I was wrong.
I would not just call it a walking sim with random rooms. It's a fucking experience. Like, especially, it's one of those games like a lot of people talk about with like Yume Nikki, where like the ideal way to play that game is to like be alone in your room at midnight with the lights off, just vibing out with that thing and seeing where the night takes you. I'm I'm gonna put it on the list, but it's definitely not gonna make it, and it would make one of my friends very, very sad. Yume Nikki. I don't like Yume Nikki that much. Admittedly, I played it like a sociopath, but I did not like Yume Nikki all that much when I tried playing through it with my friend. I know I am a heathen for this, and I apologize for my sins. Anyways, Pokemon Puzzle League is one of the greatest video games of all time. In this 6,000 word essay, I will describe why. Nah, I don't know if it definitely makes it onto the list, but it's... Pokemon Puzzle League was my first exposure to Panel Dupont, and it's why I'm very, 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 very good at Panel Dupont. Rogue Legacy is a bop. Puyo Puyo Tetris is a bop. And speaking of a lock, Tetris. This fucking normal like, I need to do like the the angry video game nerd rant about football, but it's Tetris. I can't remember the script verbatim. Wait. Angry video game nerd football script. Where is it? Football. Ah, I spelled that very wrong. Look at these titles. Baseball, basketball, football, not this Madden shit, just plain ass normal everyday, no question about it, no NFL, no year, not named after a player, not named after a coach, not named after the referee's pet goldfish, no quarterback, dimeback, nickelback, simple, ordinary, unembellished, unmistakable, crystal clear, as frank as Frankenstein, as blunt as an atom bomb, one compound word, it's motherfucking goddamn son of a bitch and fucking Tetris! Anyways. I just wanted to say that whole spiel.
Original Tetris doesn't have T-spin.
It's true, but original Tetris is still really fucking good.
Alright.
I've only played a little bit of the original Devil May Cry, so that wouldn't make it onto the list. Steel Battalion wouldn't make it onto the list. Beautiful Joe is a probably. I haven't played enough of Okami, didn't play God Hand, didn't play Mad World, Vanquish is on the list. Wonderful 101, didn't play enough of it. Astral Chain, didn't play it. Soul Cresta, didn't play it. Evil Within, didn't play it. Ghostwire, didn't play it. Haven't played enough of Hi-Fi Rush yet to feel comfortable ranking it. Okay.
Alright.
Just going down the list that Wafidi gave me there. Oh my god, excuse me.
Goodness.
We Know the Devil is on the list already. Gunpoint. Gunpoint's pretty fucking cool. Have I played enough of the DMC sequels, though? I mean, I played through the entirety of Devil May Cry 5, and that game's really good. Let's see. Gone Home. Gone Home is another one that might make it onto the list. Let's see. What else do we got here? So Yakuza 0. Oh no, Devil May Cry is already on. Devil May Cry 5 is on the list here. I think it's under the... I'm pretty sure it's somewhere on here. I thought I put it on here. Did I not put it on here?
Which one?
Devil May Cry 5. I guess not. It could have sworn that I put it on there, but I guess I accidentally skipped it. Devil May Cry 5.
DMC 5.
Tekken 7. No. To answer your story, Sass, no. I feel like Gone Home is somewhat diminished by a context where queer stories are more common in games, but it's still real good. Yeah. I think you have to take into context when that game came out. Like, the walking sim was not as much of a genre at the time. Queer storytelling wasn't as much of a, like, prominent thing in video games at the time as well. So, like, it's... And also, I think the heel turn that it does, like, that tightrope that it walks of, like, is this a horror game, or is this just a story that it walks through the entirety of its run, is really cool. Like, I like that. I remember playing through that game originally and being like, the vibes here are fucked. Something bad is going on. I don't like this. And getting to the end and finding out that everything was totally fine and being like, oh.
I'll say, without spoiling anything, that game, I've read some people's theories on it where, like, if you miss the, like, second to last thing in it's a really fucking tragic sounding story.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Totally.
I was like, yeah, I guess I get how that could happen. Mm-hmm. But yeah.
Antichamber. Love the hell out of that game. Cuphead. That game is also real dope.
Cuphead's pretty great.
I've never played The Path, so I have no idea what that game is. Oh man. I made this list back when I felt comfortable saying that Overwatch was really good. I don't know. Overwatch goes into the maybe pile. And at this point, Sass. What the fuck is this?
Are you just, like, copy-pasting the plot?
No, I think that's the full name of whatever that game is.
That's
that
too many.
listing.
What is this, a manga? Fucking slow down with how
No,
big
it's
that
called
is.
a light novel, Bree.
Same
You
thing.
Fucking pleb.
Whatever.
Soma, The Witness.
I can't believe my sister is so hot in a universe where elves are only allowed to shove mushrooms up their ass, part 3. It's like, just call it fucking Elf Sister. Just fucking give it a name.
The Binding of Isaac. Mass Effect 3. Yeah, I guess that probably. My memories of playing Overwatch with friends is what really made me enjoy my time with Overwatch. Like, I'm not generally a fan of that kind of game, and there's definitely a lot of times where I was like, God, this fucking sucks.
I think it's much in the same way that, like, I can enjoy, you know, say, like, Fortnite.
Sure.
I don't like it. The UI sucks. It's a meme lordy, shitty fucking corporate tie-in with everything. But because all of my friends don't have Unreal Tournament 2K4 installed, that's the best we're gonna get for, like, a good way. It's about playing a game with your friends. Were it not for playing it with friends, I would hate the shit out of it.
Sure.
You know, it's one of those things where it's more about that experience of, like, being with people than the game itself.
Mass Effect 3 multiplayer, one of the best games ever made. I didn't get to play that much of it. I did enjoy the multiplayer, but, like, I'm of the stance that I thought the entirety of Mass Effect 3 was pretty good, and I feel like the one that's the most overrated is Mass Effect 2. Like, a lot of people try to treat the second one like it's the best in the series, and I'm like, no, not really. Like, it's good, but, like, Mass Effect 3 fully, like, really fleshes out a lot of the, like, a lot of the systems that they introduce into gameplay-wise, and makes it feel more complete in those regards. A lot of the alienation that people feel with Mass Effect 3 is realizing, like, no, yeah, this is still like, you can have choices in video games, but as it turns out, you actually can't branch out that much because the workload that would put on people would be fucking insane.
Yeah.
Like, if literally every single choice you did, like, deeply impacted, like, the final outcome of stories, then, like, these dev teams would die.
Yeah.
They would not.
They're
they would
already
not
under enough
survive.
crunch as it is.
Yeah,
the reality
exactly.
of what that would be from a work perspective is indeed hell. Like,
And I think a lot of people were still not willing to accept that, especially at that time in video game storytelling. Like, choice in video games was very much a hot topic of like, oh man, you got so much player agency, you get to control where the story goes, and it's like, well, no, not really. This is still going to be a curated experience in some way or another.
yeah.
Does Mass Effect as a series still hang? I would need to go back and play it. I feel like in more recent years, I've seen people talk about it and definitely like turn on it a bit more. I would have to revisit it myself to really know how I feel about it personally. I feel like it still hangs, at the very least as a game. It still was really fucking solid. Like, especially once you get into two or three, it's got a good ass game feel to it. Like, there's a specific class where like I'm trying to remember what the name
Also,
of the class
Sass, if the game is good, why is that a problem though?
I mean, some people would argue that the Mass Effect games aren't very good.
Fair.
But like, there was a thing where you could like inflict some kind of like psychic aura thing on enemies, and then you could do like a fucking like shoulder charge rush at them that would explode them, and it felt real good. You would do that shit and you'd be like, damn, this rules.
Nice.
You could like get them to float in the air after you do that, and you could like shoot them with a shotgun. Just
Beautiful.
impeccable third-person shooter game feel. So, I still think it's pretty cool, at least conceptually. Anyways, Trackmania 2 Stadium, never beaten, still the best. Yes, the Vanguard charge. Not even just in ME2, in ME3, the Vanguard charge is still fucking dope. Like, it still rules. But Trackmania, I'm not Jeff Gerstmann, but I do agree with him that Trackmania 2 is fucking great. It's so good. Trackmania 2 Stadium is the adult equivalent of like playing with Hot Wheels. Like, you remember how cool Hot Wheels were when you were a kid, right?
Fuck yeah, I had the car wash with the color changing cars. That shit was rad.
Yeah, that's Trackmania.
Nice.
I think I finally tied that together in my brain literally just right now. Is the appeal of Trackmania 2 is it's just Hot Wheels. Like, it finally clicked with me,
Interesting.
and it's really fucking good. I had the Hot Wheels toilet car.
Of course you do.
Okay. Spec Ops. Oh, I answered that already with Edie. I have not played the path. Oh, Spec Ops the Ein. Spec Ops the Line. I won't go into specific details on that one quite yet. Oh, you're all good with Edie, don't worry about it. Audio Surf is really, really cool, and I spent a lot of time playing that game when I was like in my late teens.
I do have one like annoyance about Audio Surf,
What's that?
and it's very. So like I was very poor. I couldn't afford a lot of games in like my early adulthood. Couldn't find work. It was like the beginning of the crash of everything.
Sure.
And I was not hot product, let me tell you. And so I had that game. I played that a lot, and I really did love it. And then they did an update on the game. They made 2 and then on everywhere that game was, invalidated the original game and updated it automatically, so then I didn't have a license for 2 and I couldn't play 1 anymore.
Oh man.
And I was like, that pissed me off so much. That's more an argument with the development, but the game was fun, but that was really annoying. That really fucking sucked, how it's like, hi, this was updated on this, and it's like, well, now you fucking...
Yeah.
Anyway.
That's a bummer.
Yeah. Like, give me a game key, you dicks.
But yeah, back when I used to have like all of my music download on my computer,
Adobe-fication, exactly.
back when I used to have all my music download on my computer, it was fucking dope.
Yeah.
And I think that's the only thing that's kind of soured me now is I don't keep music files on my stuff anymore.
Yeah.
You do.
I do.
I do not. So like when I try to play something like that, I have to mod it to like take YouTube links and shit to just be like, yeah, go ahead and just, take this link for this song and we'll work with that.
Sure.
Halo 2 and also maybe Halo 1.
I only played Halo...
Not Halo 2 twice.
I only played Halo...
A game so nice, I put it on my list twice.
I only played Halo Darkness, my old friend. That was the best version of it. It's fun to play that game again, you know?
I mean, Halo is really fucking good.
Uh-huh.
Feels fucking great to drive around in the vehicles in that game. See, I've only actually played the first 2 Halo games. I've never played any of the Halos after that, but I loved the shit out of those first 2 games a whole lot.
I gotta be real, never played Halo. That was the portion of console gaming where
It's
I
good.
didn't have money and my folks weren't buying me things anymore because I was, again, early adulthood. And
Guess what, hun? You know what I can tell you? The first 2 Halo games, pretty good.
Cool.
They're both pretty good games.
It was one of those games, like, there are still many now, but, like, one of those games where it's like, everyone was about this and got so fucking good at it. By the time I wanted to get into FPSs again, they had graduated so much in their intensity, and that kind of game was just like, I'm afraid to start now. I'm so far behind, you know? Everyone's already appreciated this game. I don't want to sit down and start getting into it. I don't know. One of those things that happened far too early that by the time I would have even remotely cared, I'm like, I don't care.
Whoops.
And that's on me. It wasn't my thing.
Halo and Fez maybe make it. I would recommend Halo Infinite, but only if you play it co-op with Sass. That's a very specific thing, that criteria to have to meet, but I get it. That's the way that I feel about Fortnite. I would not play that unless I were playing it with my friends. Another one that is kind of a maybe, River City Girls.
That was fun.
Hey Mooer, welcome to the stream.
Yo, welcome.
This is what everything looks like so far, as I have 20 locks.
21.
No, 20.
Oh, right, because that, okay.
Yeah,
I
it
got
starts
you.
from the 1.
Alright.
I got, how many probablys? 67 and about, or 66 and about 41 maybes / really it's probably more like 30, considering that there's like 10 bad games on here that I only put on there because people in the chat said them.
Yeah.
Maybe would be Limbo, Donkey Kong Country, Donkey Kong Country 2. Wait, add a 2 at the end. I think Bree has finally started to get a little bit bored.
Killer 7.
Killer 7 probably makes it onto the list. Yes, there are Supergiant games on there. I have Transistor, Transistor, Hades, and Bastion are all documented so far.
Control would definitely be on mine. I don't know if it hit Jay the same.
That one's gonna go in the maybe. Killer 7 is probably on there. Another one that's probably on there is fucking Gary's mod. And also Team Fortress 2. And I guess now I think about probably Left 4 Dead. I
Sure.
played a lot of Left 4 Dead.
Yeah, sure.
I don't know if I always had the best time of it, but
You
I
sure
did play a lot of it.
Yeah. Fair enough.
Control, Donkey Kong 64.
Kirby's Dream Course, I think that and like Puzzle Bobble are the two games I can actually beat you at. Like,
It's Portal I just haven't put on the list yet, but those are
yeah, that has to go on there.
those are definitely making it on there. I have not played any of the Half-Life games aside from the VR one. Very. It's like I said, there's some very big gaps in my like video game canon experience, and that's one of them is like the Half-Life series. Guess like some fighting games should go on here. Street Fighter 2 Turbo,
We already have Def Jam.
Blaz, Blue, Central Fiction, Skullgirls.
I really love the art design in Skullgirls, I'll say that.
Don't feel like I can, in good conscience, put King of Fighters on there just because I haven't played anywhere near enough of those games.
Fair enough.
I guess Kirby's Dream Course can be in the maybes. I only like those first two like courses on there. The second two courses I don't like as much, and it's not just because you beat me at them.
Fair
I
enough.
didn't like the mechanics in those.
I thought they were cute.
They're cute, but
One of these days, I want to find the ROM edit that they did for the Game Grumps with all the like custom levels and play that with you. Or actually, come to think of it,
I
man.
did beat Indivisible, and that one's going in the maybe.
Actually, Breezy might use that. There's someone that big secret, but Breezy is actually planning a collab soon with a new person, and that actually might not be a bad thing to try suggesting.
I literally played Immortality yesterday. I accidentally speedran that game, and I really liked what I played of it. I need to play more of it, but what I played of it already is enough to put into like the maybe pile. I did see credits. Like I literally accidentally speedran that game and saw credits. Haven't played Dishonored. Outside of Banjo-Kazooie and like the first two Donkey Kong Country games, I'm not big on Rareware stuff. No, yeah, it took me like two hours to see credits. I know what triggers it. I don't want to say anything about spoiling it though. Fucking Mario Golf Game Boy. I adore the Game Boy Mario Golf. It's so good. I have not played any of the Megami Tensei games besides Persona. I'm a fake RPG girl. Did I put Mega Man 2 on here already? Because if I didn't, I need to put it on here.
I'm very much an old school, like, kind of RPG person, but it's like, I don't know, I missed out on a lot of the more modern stuff. And like kind of mid-era stuff that people got real into. I don't know, I fell out of JRPGs for a while. There were so many great ones for the SNES. I mean, like, there's so much you can play already, but I think just after that I kind of fell out of it for a bit.
Let's see. You say as Lavos plays.
No, I mean, there's that. There's like, despite my inability to complete them, like, you know, later on, I've played it all the way through, what was it? There's, Secret of Mana, you got, like, your Secret of Evermore, that's a fun one. Just, you know, I played a little of the final, I don't think I've ever actually beaten an entire Final Fantasy game. Something I need to actually address on this channel at some point.
I'm looking at Crystallis, and I've definitely never played this game. Let's see. Okay, so now I've gone through the entirety of that, like, kind of BS backlogged list that I made, and now it's time to look at, so, recent games that I played that might make the list. Signalis. Signalis is really fucking good. Tunic is also really fucking good. Inscription is also really fucking good. Those are all really, really good video games.
Right on.
So those are pretty high up there.
Fair enough.
Let's see. Trying to think of other. Did I put Celeste on here yet?
You went, like, hog wild
Yes.
on Celeste.
Yes, Celeste is on that list.
It's a good game.
I have not played any of the Pikmins. That is another pretty big gap in my video game knowledge. Tetris Effect.
Oh, yes. Oh my god, Tetris Effect.
And actually, it's probably only gonna be a maybe, but speaking of Half-Life, Half-Life Alyx is really fucking cool. Like, that's a... If I weren't such a fucking baby with, like, scary stuff in VR, I would... That might, like, definitely be on, like, my top 100, because it's
Right on.
really, really good. Like, it's really good.
I'll be
Half-Life
honest,
Alyx is fucking great.
I played a lot of Tetrasphere when I was younger, but I don't know if I don't know if it hit me in a significant way as much as it was just kind of an interesting thing that I played around with. Another one of those situations where it's like, I think I was just bad at it.
I don't think I ever played Tetrasphere, and I definitely never played Clax.
Does Ring Fit count?
Did I put Ring Fit on the list? I feel like I did, but I might have skipped over it. But I probably would put Ring Fit on here. I'll put it under the maybes. Ring
Like,
Fit.
I joke about wanting to get back to my COVID, like, body. We got so fucking fit.
Oh yeah, it was taking good care of us.
Yeah.
I've not played Hatris either. Just looking down. You know, The Last of Us is pretty good. The Last of Us is pretty good.
I haven't played it, but...
I don't know where it would fall on the top 100 list, but it's pretty good.
Neat.
Super Mario Land 2, baby. And also Wario Land. Wario Land 2. I need to make sure that's the right one that I'm thinking of, I guess, first and foremost. So let's go to YouTube.
Tetris.
Wario Land 2.
It's Tetris.
Okay, yes, it is Wario Land 2 I'm thinking of. I played a lot of Wario Land 2. I really liked that game as a kid. And I also really liked Wario Land 3 too. But that one's like a really fucking obtuse game.
There's that one game for the N64 called either Wetris or Wetrix or something like that. I may have, like, owned secondhand 3 copies of that game, all of which did not work. I don't know if a functioning copy of it exists. I don't know. I think it is just an empty cartridge that was put out there as a joke.
I have not played Wet. Kix might make it onto the list. Do you know which one Kix is?
I don't.
Let me pull up some Kix.
It's a cereal, right?
No. It's a puzzle game that I don't know what it originally came out on, but I had it on the Game Boy specifically. And I remember liking it a lot. But basically, you just like fill up the screen as much as possible with like your little thing there, and those
Oh.
little sparks like chase you around.
Interesting.
I have not played through Umineko. I have played Higurashi.
You know what I probably played most on the Game Boy outside of like the classic Game Boy, outside of like the Pokemon games?
What's that?
Was like, there was this game called Daedalian Opus, one of those like fit these like little tangrams in their spaces and make this shit fit. And I spent an immense amount of time on that. That was like my first puzzle game. It was really fun, and that just kind of reminded me of the angular nature of that.
Sam and Max. What are you talking about, Sass? Sam and Max hit the road.
That's an old school favorite of mine. Love that game.
What are you talking about, Sass? But I haven't played Umineko, but I have played Higurashi, and I really, really, really like Higurashi. However, it is a hard thing to recommend, much like a lot of like visual novels, because it's like dozens of hours of reading. I have never been a like RTS person. I don't like real-time strategy games.
So it's like the sock game.
What do you do? Can you recommend Gal's Panic if you like that picture filling in game but with naked women? What are you talking? All of this is going over my head if this is some joke about a thing I said earlier. Alright, and now I think we have started to reach the point of the stream where, at the very least in terms of things I have listed, I don't know off the top of my head. So let's go to the Wife City YouTube channel and see what I have and haven't played. Never played any 4X games. That's also not my... Oh, great. Since you asked, Kix was widely copied to the point where in Japan they made Gal's Panic and Dancing Eyes, which is the same concept, but the play area is either naked women or taking off your clothes.
Interesting.
Fantastic.
Dancing eyes is a very serious disease. It actually is.
Teardown is a maybe. Like a very weak maybe. Oh, Chicory. That's another one I forgot about. That
was cute.
It was, yeah, that one probably goes under the maybe category as well. Colorful Tale. I guess. How do we call Hitman, like the newer Hitman trilogy? Should I just call it Hitman Trilogy?
Yeah.
Because that's really good. The Hitman trilogy is really fucking cool. I've liked it every single time I've tried to play it. Spyro, no.
That's the final evolution of that Pokemon, Hitmonthree.
Oh, Later Alligator was cute. That one.
Yeah,
I'm
I
gonna put that
enjoyed
one
that.
in Later Alligator.
Night in the Woods.
I already have that one on the list.
Yeah. Gartic Phone. That's more a party game.
I mean, party games can count.
Sure.
I spelled later wrong, I just noticed. Gartic Phone is pretty good.
Cave Story, I Want to Be the Guy.
I don't know if I would put I Want to Be the Guy on there.
Oh,
Gartic
Vanquish.
Phone, Jackbox. Vanquish is already on the list.
Cool.
Keep scrolling. Oh god, A Way Out. I forgot about A Way Out. A Way Out was really fun. You remember that, right?
Which one was that again?
That's the one where I tricked you into letting me beat your ass at Connect 4.
Fucking hate that game just because of that. Fucking stupid game.
That one might make it on there for that alone.
Who's the baby? The one being born or you? Drop the damn game. This game looks pretty fun.
Intelligent Cube I've never played. Code Vein wouldn't make it. Ape Escape wouldn't make it.
Mogus.
Portal is already on the list. Both Portal and Portal 2. Telltale's The Walking Dead is a maybe. Amogus is a maybe.
Transistor.
I actually started to spell it like the... Oh wait, no.
You did.
I was spelling it right, and then I spelled it wrong. No Crash Bandicoot. Been long enough since I played Mega Man Legends that I don't have strong memories of it. Never played Brave Fencer Musashi. Nier Automata, Super Mario 64. I got a secret for you. Super Mario 64 is not going to make it onto the list. Like, just, it won't. You know, Heaven Will Be Mine, I'm thinking of putting in the maybe, but, like, I'm pretty sure that would not make it. Like, We Know the Devil just hit me in such a strong way that Heaven Will Be Mine somehow didn't. Somehow. Like, it's really good, and I really liked it, but it did not hit me the way that We Know the Devil did.
For sure.
Okay. You should make everyone mad and then put... Oh, Sass, it's okay. I'm way ahead of you on that.
I'm gonna leave again.
Code Vein definitely won't make it on. People, y'all can feel free to keep putting in recommendations, but I feel like I've hit everything that would be likely to put on my list.
Alright. And next stream, she'll organize them and finally decide.
No, we've only done 2 hours.
I'm already burning out.
Oh no, come on.
I'm sorry. I'm just like, my brain is ADHDing really bad.
Oh.
It's hard to look at spreadsheets.
I've never played Shenmue, and Jet Set Radio wouldn't make it onto the list.
And with that, I'm out. Have a good one. Bye, everyone.
Yes, I have Burnout 3 on the list. Hey, Sass, wanna hop on stream? I'm ready to keep going. I've never really played a Need for Speed game, so I wouldn't be able to really speak to that one. Snoop Dogg rage quits his own game. Thank you for tagging me with that, Wafidi. I appreciate it. But yeah, I'll wait for Sass to be available here, and then I'll get her on the call to sub in for Bree. I guess I'll have to put a Sass PNG on Bree's spot on the chair. See, this stream we're gonna take care of the hard work of just figuring out what the 100 are gonna be on there, I think. Cause I got 20 games locked in. I got how many games as probablys? I got 87 probablys, and I got like, what was that, 64 maybes. So I feel like I got a pretty, I feel like I'm cooking here. And then I'm gonna get Sass on the call, and she's gonna fucking berate me for every single. Yes, I did watch Revolution. It was fucking great. It was a great pay-per-view. I have not been able to stop thinking about Texas death for like the last 2 weeks. Like, just the way that fucking Moxley said that has just stuck in my brain ever since that promo that he cut. And also obviously the fucking Iron Man match between MJF and Danielson is real good. It's real fucking good. I did not expect to have my attention gripped as well as I did by the 60-minute MJF match, but you know, you stick him in the ring with Danielson and he's gonna do it. Danielson is gonna do what he does and be one of the greatest wrestlers that's ever lived. Are you good yet, Sass, to hop on, or are you still setting things up? I'll just go ahead and get started with her. But yeah, the Revolution was pretty dope. Part of me was expecting a CM Punk return, considering that FTR came back, but I wasn't hot for it, and I'm okay that they haven't tried bringing him back yet. I don't think he ever will, but things lately have been pointing to like a maybe in those regards. Oh, is she here? I think she's here. I just have to change some sound settings to be able to hear her. Input device that, output device. Alright. I should be able to hear you now.
Hello?
Yes, there we go. Now
Oh,
I can hear
okay,
you.
so I've been talking to myself. Got it.
Oh, sorry. Alright, let me go ahead and share
You know,
that
I was
screen
thinking in
with
the
you.
back of my head, and I was like, didn't the last time
What's that
Jay do
now?
one of these
Okay.
lists with anime, Bree, Tap Tap? Because
Yeah.
it's so boring.
I like going through list making. It's like a weirdly like therapeutic thing for me. So I don't know. I enjoy.
I just want to know
What
you're
is
gonna
the
have to update the list.
What's
It was like
with what?
unpacking games.
Well, you see, at this very moment, Birdo comes to Mario Kart 8, so it's officially better than Double Dash.
Oh, I mean, I do need to put Mario Kart 8 on the list if I haven't already. I think I
I'm
did.
pretty sure I thought you did.
No, I don't think I did. I think I somehow skipped over that one. But no,
Jay.
yeah. Mario
Jay.
Kart. Yes.
Jay, it's an Excel spreadsheet. You can just search.
I know. But also I'm gonna put it as Mario Kart 8 Deluxe because that's the one that I'm familiar with personally. Okay. But thank you for pointing that out. I believe I had forgotten about it. So now,
I can't believe you didn't say out loud Artanelico Nell of ArcCL.
that's too much work. I'm not going to do that. Okay, so do you like Mario Party or do you see it for the friendship killer it can be? I like Mario Party, but not enough to put it onto a top 100 list. Also, I feel like I could turn this down. This is like reflecting so brightly on my face.
Yeah, you have a white screen on you, you're fine.
Also now, like, the fucking No, that made it worse. Hold on. Hold on. Nope, that also made it worse. There we go. Hold on. Almost. There we go. Okay. I feel like I could get something out of making lists like this because I forget shit all the time, but I don't have a desire to quantify how much I like stuff. I think that's the reason I like it, is I just enjoy the thought exercise of dumb
Where are we
arbitrary
putting
shit
virtual
like this.
highlight?
It's not going on the list. Just gonna cut you off there. Virtual highlight, it ain't
so
fucking making
here's-
it.
Here's the thing with me is like top 100 would be, for me personally, is like, okay, let me write a list of games I know I like, and then do they exceed 100?
Well, I mean, that's essentially what I've done here. Except I've also put some suggestions from people like yourself on there. Is I tried to just put every game that I like at least slightly above average. Like games I'm like, yeah, that was good. Like maybe not a. No, that's your fault. That's I did not put that one on because I like it. I was just accommodating the chat, and it's a game that I've played before.
Well, you played Virtual Highlight before.
Okay, fine. Here we go. Virtual Highlight. Okay, that's on the list. Guess what? We have to start parsing down the list. Okay, bye, Virtual Highlight.
That was quick.
Okay.
Gex64, that ain't staying. Toki 2018, that ain't
I mean-
staying.
It makes sense. I mean, you would want PS1 Gex because it has more levels and more voice lines.
No, I do not. I want it never. Alright, so do that. Delete those. So yeah, I'm officially going to go through here and just cut out the joke ones that are definitely not making it. Galgun VR, that ain't making it. Sonic Adventure 2 Battle, that ain't making it.
Wait,
Sonic-
really?
No.
That one I
No.
thought wasn't a joke one.
No. That one was a suggestion, and I don't agree with it.
That's like the best 3D Sonic game.
I still. That's a very low bar. That's a really low bar. Also going off the list, Sonic 06. Tony Hawk Pro Skater 3 is in the probably makes it on. Anyways, so we've gotten that. Let me
You can
go
take
through.
off Doki Doki because that
Nope.
game sucks.
Nope. That one's staying on for now. Wacky World of Golf. It's gone. Mr. Bones. Gone.
Okay, so Adventure 2 Battle adds in more multiplayer characters.
Mm-hmm.
Primarily, obviously, it gets rid of the Christmas DLC for.
It has doesn't Battle just add like the verses in it, or was that in the original Sonic
That was
Adventure
the
2?
original. It was just
Okay.
not
Oh, I
as
think.
fleshed out as Battle. Also, one noticeable difference.
The music stopped, I just realized.
In original Sonic Adventure 2, Rouge has far more breast jiggle, like hyper breast jiggle, like DOA jiggle going on.
The original. Wait, what's on the? Which one is on the probably? Did I put Sonic Adventure 2 in the maybe? No, I have Sonic Advance 2 in the probably. The Sonic Advance games are actually very solid. Like, I think those are the best, like, aside from Sonic Mania, those are, like, the best 2D Sonic games.
Not Sonic Battle.
That's the, like, bad RPG, right?
No, that's the 4-player arena brawling game for the GBA.
Oh. For sure,
You're
did
thinking
not-
of Sonic Dark Brotherhood for the DS by famous game makers BioWare.
You and Wafidi had a mind meld. You both said it at the exact same time.
Have you ever listened to the soundtrack of that game?
No.
Who was
Of
at
course not.
BioWare and thought that soundtrack was acceptable?
I guess I have to pull it up. Hold on a second. Sonic Chronicles Dark
It's just
Brotherhood OST.
Really bad.
I need to hear it. I need to hear how, as a music person, I need to hear how bad it is. No, this is penis music.
Yeah, its soundtrack is pretty penis.
Oh man, that's very funny. Okay, back to the actual music I was listening to. Okay, anyways. So, I think I've trimmed down the ones that are, Yume Nikki is gonna go off the list because that one's definitely not gonna make it.
I'd take Overwatch off.
Yeah, I probably would at this point too.
I mean, if you don't... Like, it's fine if you felt something during the time you play it, but it's the present now.
Yeah, that's true. Is Fez making it into the list? Probably not. Like, let me go through the ones that feel like more easy nabs off of it. Kirby 64, not gonna make it. Metal Gear Solid 4, like I was saying earlier, is like in the top 10 best video game sequences of all time. As
Oh, you
an
mean the first Metal Gear I played?
Yes. Like the microwave hallway, that's in the top 10 best video game sequences of all time.
That microwave hallway is so influential that fucking Kingdom Hearts 3 recreates it with Mickey Mouse.
It does. However, as an entire game, I don't think it makes the cut. Can you agree with me on that?
Sure, I guess.
Okay.
I don't know, I like that game. I will say my main gripe with the game is the bosses are just boring, sexy women.
Yeah, it's definitely the weakest the bosses have been in the series. Silent Hill 1 is good, but it's just good. It doesn't like stand out the way that 2 and 3 really do. Let me see. I mean, Spelunky 1 and Spelunky 2 are both very, very fun. I don't like them enough that I feel like they would make the cut.
Yeah. Spelunky 2, very fun with friends.
Oh no, yeah, don't
One
worry.
way or another.
I recounted
Long as you're-
it. I recounted it while you were away. It's all good. Let's see. I guess let's start from the bottom. Among Us is fun. It's not there. Like, I don't think it makes it into a top 100 of my favorite games of all time.
August?
Yeah. It's really good. but I don't think it's had the staying power that a lot of other games have had, especially like party games. Like something like Jackbox, I'm gonna be extremely hesitant on deleting
Jay, you're
that
looking
from
real
the list.
sus.
Sorry, I'm cutting bitches left and right. So
Among Us is very much it's you know, like a lot of multiplayer games. It's entirely your friend group, and if you have
Yes.
people to play with.
totally. However, Jackbox, I feel like has remained evergreen. Like it helps that they're constantly putting out new ones, but like it still works even when you go back to the old ones and play some of the games on there. Gartic Phone is neat, but I don't think it's quite hitting me.
So the thing with Garlic Phone is just it's basically if you spun out one of the many Jackbox games
Right.
into something free on the browser.
Yeah. Which I guess is another upside of it, is that it is a free video game. So you can just play a Jackbox game for free through it, essentially. But I still don't feel like it hangs, necessarily.
Well, yeah, that's what I'm saying. Jackbox
Okay.
is a collection of that, while Garlic Phone is the one game from like a Jackbox collection.
Gotcha.
Like it's very similar to Drawful and
Sure.
other likes. That's right, it's Banana Phone.
You know, you know what? I won't do it quite yet. Sorry, Super Metroid and Metroid Fusion do not hang for me personally on this list.
Woo!
I've only played Dread, so I wouldn't know.
For sure. I think that Super Metroid, when it came out, was probably fucking phenomenal. When I look back on it now, it's like, it's the same way that I feel about another one that I'm probably gonna take off the list here, Symphony of the Night, where like, it's good and you can see how it absolutely laid the foundation for everything after it, but it doesn't have all the quality of life improvements that everything that came afterwards had.
I don't agree with Symphony of the Night. It's still extremely good, and it has aged extremely well. I'm not sure what. Out
I
of
think
curiosity, what is the quality of life things
Or I
that
guess-
need to be in Symphony?
Not so much quality of life in Symphony of the Night. I think the front half of Symphony of the Night is really fucking good, but the back half is not. I think the back half of that game feels like padding.
Are you talking about the inverted castle?
Yes.
Okay.
Like, I think that,
I mean,
like, it's fucking cool getting to the inverted castle, but when you actually get to the inverted castle, I did not enjoy my time with it.
I mean, I guess it just depends on how you take the inverted castle, because you could kind of just beeline to Dracula at that point.
No, yeah,
you just have
you
to do
definitely
like a
can.
few things.
No, yeah, I mean, you could definitely just beeline to Dracula, but I think that's kind of what drains it of its fun at that point, because the way I started navigating it is I would just do the mist power and go through rooms, because, like, there was just too many fucking enemies. Like, it did not feel like a, like, challenging layout. It was just like, yeah, we're just going to put all these fucking dudes in a room, and you either need to cheese your way through it, or you need to, like, take your time on each individual one. And I found that to be really, really annoying when I was playing through it. So for me,
Okay, then I have a question for you. What
Yes.
is the best Symphony Vania whatever?
Do you mean the best Castlevania or the best, like...
Metroidvania, whatever you want to call it.
Fuck, that's actually a very good question. I don't
Because if
have
you're gonna
the-
delete that, I'm just wondering, because like, what is it called? Spell? What is the? Spellbound, Shatterbound. The fuck
I
is
have
the-
no idea what you're talking about. I would say, like, literally almost right next to Symphony of the Night in the probably list. I think Order of Ecclesia is a better Metroidvania game than Symphony of the Night. Like, if I don't know if I can declare, like, a best, but I at least think that game is better than Symphony of the Night. And if I'm being really real with you, I think that I like Circle of the Moon better than I like Symphony of the Night. However, I imagine that would be heresy to some people.
You're all heresy tonight, baby.
But yeah, so I don't know. I'm gonna get rid of Symphony of the Night.
Bloodstained, that's what it's called.
Oh,
I always forget what it's called.
Sure. I can get rid of some of these fighting games. I do really like BlazBlue Central Fiction and Skullgirls, but I don't think I like them enough to consider them for a top 100.
BlazBlue was the uncool anime. Like, there's two sides. There's Guilty Gear, which is like #cool anime, and BlazBlue, which is for the people in the weeds
Sure.
of anime.
I wasn't like deep into BlazBlue, but me and Courtney played a lot of Central Fiction for like a brief period of time, and I enjoyed it. Super Street Fighter 2 Turbo I'm gonna keep on the list for a little bit because I do have fond memories of that game. Donkey Kong 64 though is gone. That
The
definitely
sad
does
thing
not.
is that game probably would be in my top 100 just because.
Of the amount
I mean,
of time
I
that
don't
you
know.
sunk
I would
into
have
it.
to. I hope. The thing is, in a modern day setting, I would have to play the multiplayer to see if it holds up, and nobody's agreed to. But literally, that was the multiplayer game I played. There was no GoldenEye. There was no none of the other stuff.
Okay.
Just hours of donkin.
Alright, so I've started making some cuts, so I think what I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna start going through the probably list and start moving things from there over to the locks.
Well, I have a question. Do you have
Yes.
100 things?
Yes, I have more than 100 things all together on here. Like I have 20 locks, I have 88 probablys, and I have like at least like 20 maybes.
Let's do anything else. Hey,
That sounds like a
those
ringing endorsement.
Those DK multiplayer maps, they have hidden rooms, hidden textures you can hide in.
Okay. But yeah, so Sass, to answer your question, yes, I do have 100 things to go off of on here. So, let's start getting some more locks in there. Which is where it starts getting pretty hard. I'm gonna, like...
You joke, Graffiti, but we didn't play Mario Party. We did play Sonic Shuffle when younger. It didn't endear me to party games, let's say.
I'm gonna start color coding the ones that feel stronger, that I feel stronger towards. So like, yeah, Dark Souls and Elden Ring are probably pretty likely to make it as locks on here. We Know the Devil, most likely. Looking at
I
these
mean,
looking at
I
these
don't know.
probablys, what do you feel so far?
Okay, how I feel. I'm gonna be honest. I haven't played enough Banjo-Kazooie to have an opinion on. I didn't have a Nintendo 64 growing up.
For sure.
I mean, don't have strong feelings on poppin' music.
Poppin's real good. Poppin music is so fun. Sorry, continue.
For me, my favorite Mario game is probably Super Mario World. At least as far as the thing I've like replayed the most and like.
For sure. I mean, I also am a big proponent of Super Mario World. I don't know how high it is, but I feel like it probably makes it, so I'm gonna give that like a yellow for now.
I mean,
Pokemon Crystal.
For me, Mario Odyssey is a neat game. I don't know if
I really liked Mario Odyssey a lot when I played that.
Why Pokemon Crystal? Out of all the Pokemons. Because personally, I wouldn't put any Pokemon, but...
Because Pokemon Crystal, I think, had my... So I was describing it earlier. So you know in Elden Ring when you discover, like, the underground world?
Yeah.
Pokemon Crystal essentially had, like, a similar thing for me, where when you find out that there's, like, a whole second region that you can explore after going through, like, the first round of, like, 8 gyms and the Elite Four in that area.
You mean how they put in the other game in it?
Yeah, they essentially put the first game into the second
But that wasn't
game.
exclusive to Crystal.
Yeah, but Crystal was the one that I had when I was playing through those games, was Crystal. So that's why that one in particular is the one that I tend to gravitate towards. But yeah, that was like my Elden Ring finding the underground world equivalent as a child, where I was just like, are you fucking kidding me right now? You're telling me there's still this much of the game left here to discover? This is ridiculous.
You're telling me you packed the whole first game into the second?
I mean, considering it was the fucking Game Boy, that is kind of impressive.
No, yeah, that's all. I think that was Iwata, or
Uh-huh.
one of the...
I feel like Metal Gear Rising will probably make it. I feel like Undertale will probably make it. Let's see.
I can't comment on Metal Gear Solid 1 because I've only played Twin Snakes.
It's basically the same game. Although I guess maybe I should put Metal Gear Solid Twin Snakes on here as a separate entry. Because I do also really like Metal Gear Solid Twin Snakes. So yeah, fuck it. I'm also putting that in the probably makes it pile.
Technically, you've been on a playthrough of that game, so...
Oh no, yeah. I mean, I've played it myself and I've watched someone else play it.
For me personally, Marvel vs. Capcom 2 is an informative fighting game for me. Like, I literally play that in arcade. And by arcade, I mean, of course, Disney Quest, the giant Disney theme park.
I think for me, my hurdle with MVC2 is like it's like actual stimulation overload, and Marvel Superheroes versus Street Fighter is like the perfect medium where there's a lot of cool shit happening, but it's not too much.
That's also probably why my favorite fighting games are like that. Like, I want it to be almost impossible to understand what is happening on stream. I want chaos to be filling up the screen at all times. Yeah. Which is why I like Nitro plus Blaster's Heroin Infinite Duel.
Okay, so let's see. Silent Hill 2, I feel like would maybe make it onto the list. Same with Kingdom Hearts. I don't know, let me scroll down and look for more like definite, like strong contenders for me. I mean, Burnout 3 Takedown is a very important game to me, and I really, really like Doom 2016. Outer Wilds was fucking great. Like, really, really great. Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 3 is probably a lock. Let's see. Trackmania 2 Stadium. I'm going for the Jeff Gerstmann vote. I really, 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 really like Trackmania 2 Stadium.
I mean, looking at what I see here, the main thing I have strong feelings for is LSD, as far as like art piece.
Yeah, I was gonna
video
say,
games.
are you talking like positive or negative? Strong
Positive.
feelings. For sure. I feel the same way. Like, it's really cool.
Like in chat, I wasn't trying to be derogative, like
Okay.
trying to describe it. I'm like, the easiest way to describe it is you walk around and experience different rooms, but you never know what you're going to experience.
Gotcha. And then there's also just the element of like after a certain period of time, you will trigger something that like just will send you to like a weird random like FMV video or something like that, where you're like, I have no idea what made that happen, but I am experiencing it, and all I can do is take it in. Like,
Yeah, it's also why I respect the Lane PS1 game, even if there are a lot of problems with it.
No, yeah, it definitely predates walking simulators by like a significant amount. Let's see. Other ones that I feel pretty strongly as locks.
So is Tekken 7 your favorite Tekken?
Admittedly, it's the only one I've played, but I have a lot
Oh.
of positive memories of playing Tekken 7. Like, going through the story mode, and you get to the part where it's, I think Kazuya fighting against Akuma. And then as you, like, get to the end of the fight, like, the camera zooms out to, like, the fucking satellite that Heihachi is controlling, and they fire a fucking space laser down to the building that you were just fighting on. It's very dope.
Are you sure it's not Tekken Tag 2, because that has Snoop Dogg?
I have not played Tekken Tag 2.
You've seen it being played, though.
Maybe very, very briefly.
You did. You were on the stream where it showed up.
Oh, yeah, yes. Yes. That's why I think I phrased it that way, where it's like I maybe played it or watched it briefly.
How are we rating Higurashi Mahjong?
That is not making it onto the list.
Because
You know what?
technically you played it through me as your cipher.
I did. That's not the Higurashi I'm talking about here. This Higurashi is the actual visual novel. Killer 7 is probably going to make the list. Like, that one, similarly to LSD Dream Emulator, I have a big respect for, like, as an art piece. Like, I don't know if that's what Suda51 was necessarily trying to do with that game, but he inadvertently made a fucking bizarre-ass art piece with that game.
Okay, it's gonna be a loud mist.
There's apparently gotta be loud noises for a little bit here, so
Okay, mute it real quick, actually.
I am going to mute myself real quick, folks.
Yeah, I was gonna say, it sounds like you're releasing some air. At least it's better than the jackhammer I had to deal with today. Because they're doing road work. Gonna be worse tomorrow. Yay. How about the Mets?
Alright, I'm gonna unmute myself now. It's probably not as bad. Hi, Corgi. Welcome to the stream. Bree has tapped out for the stream, and now Sass joins me. Okay, so... let's go ahead and start moving a couple of these over, so... those two...
So are you going to play the Metal Gear Solid 3 remake?
I mean, I would have to see it to make a call on it. Like, until I know what it looks like, or if it seems like it's a worthwhile thing to bother doing, I don't know. Like, frankly, it kind of seems like it would be a waste of time to do that. I've played Metal Gear Solid 3. I think it's fine. I don't have, like, I think it's a pretty good story, but as just a video game to play through, I don't have strong feelings towards it.
Or AXBs. The bees!
The bees are back!
I will say Dead Cells is probably my favorite of, like, any of the, like, the indie roguelike stuff that popped up.
It's pretty good. Like, that's why I have it, like, as a possible selection on that list. Like, there was definitely a period of time where I was hooked on that sauce. But also, I can say the same thing of Hades. I can say the same thing. I could say the same thing of Hades. I can say the same thing of Rogue Legacy. Like, I was deep in the Rogue Legacy hole when that game was big.
I still need to get to Dracula. That's right, I am playing a Castlevania.
Okay, so now we have 35 games as locks. So let's go ahead and look for some more here. I have not played Slay the Spire. I could I feel like I would say that The Beginner's Guide and Stanley Parable both deserve to be locks. Like, those are probably the best, like, the best walking simulators that have come out, at least in my opinion. What were you gonna say, Sass?
One second.
Okay. Yeah.
I keep thinking The Beginner's Guide is somehow a reference to the fucking Beginner's Guide to the Galaxy, like the video game version, the text.
Oh, you're thinking of the Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah. Sleeping Dogs, I think, has to be on the list for me. That was such a good fucking playthrough. the way that I played that game, I think, was the ideal way to experience it, and it made it so much fun when I played that. Which other ones are probably here? Life is Strange is a maybe.
I tried playing that, just couldn't.
It's...
I laughed at the Spirits Within joke.
Of course you did. Of course you laughed at the Spirits Within joke. I was going to say Spirited Away joke, and I was like, nope, that ain't right. Yeah, I mean, I described it, but that was definitely like a period of time in my life that was like me like really coming to terms with being a queer trans woman, and like the quote bad ending of that game for me was very much a like, hell yeah, fuck this stupid town that we grew up in, let's go just drive off and be gay together. So it's like,
Story of my life.
yeah, so like it has a very personal connection for me, and it's mostly because of the ending. I'm willing to bet that if I went back and tried playing through the rest of that game, I would not like it as much. However, the memory is still there. Which other games here? I think Banjo-Kazooie is more of a maybe. Actually, you know what? I think I can get rid of Banjo-Kazooie. I think I feel comfortable making that call. Sorry, Banjo. I was thinking... Yes.
But Jay...
Yes. But yeah, having played it recently
it's no
enough,
nuts and bolts.
it's no Banjo-Tooie. But having played it recently enough, I think I can admit I really, really like the front half of that game, and then when you get to the later worlds in it, it just doesn't hit me as much. So I can let Banjo-Kazooie go. It's okay. That's not who I am anymore.
Yeah, now you're a Conker's Bad Fur Day.
God, no. Absolutely not. So,
Paper Mario and the 1,000-Year Door is a really neat game. I don't think I've ever beaten it because it's so long.
No, yeah. Wait, did you say because it's so long or because it's so hard?
So long.
For me... Shut up, Bree. She literally chuckled at me asking that. For me, it's less the length of it and more that game gets really fucking difficult at the end. Bree, stop it.
It's okay, Bisky, it's okay. Bisky.
Bisky, come here. Come here. Stop it. Baby.
Bisky!
Bisky.
No, come here.
Come here. Come here. Come here. Oh my god.
This be working.
Come here. Sit. Good girl. Thank you, Bisky. Anyways. Sorry about the interruption. But yeah, I think for me, the big hurdle with 1,000-Year Door is just that it gets really, really difficult, like right at the end. Like I was struggling against the last boss for a very long period of time when I first played it.
I think she wants dinner.
For sure.
I'll grab it.
Let's see. So, I put Fez in the maybe side of things here because after having played Tunic in the last couple of months, Tunic to me did kind of perfected what Fez was trying to get across, while also essentially being a weird video game encapsulation of that thing, that kind of anecdote about Miyazaki, the Hidetaka Miyazaki behind the Souls games. How everyone says that, like, yeah, he would read like English fantasy books, and because he didn't have like a full grasp on the language, he was like having to infer a lot of things just by like context of the words that he did understand. And Tunic mechanically essentially does that does that both literally and thematically in the story of it, and it's really fucking cool. Like, it's really, really good. Like, literally the one complaint I have about Tunic is that it also gets, like, has a weird bump in difficulty, like, in the latter half of it at some point. Like, you eventually get over that hump, but it's weirdly, weirdly fucking tough for a moment there, and that was making it hard for me to want to continue with it. But I really, really liked Tunic.
You really are Jeff Gerstmann.
I hadn't listened to him talk about Tunic. Was that basically what he said?
Tunic.
It's good. You should play Tunic if you have not played Tunic. It's a very good video game. It's free on Game Pass. You should play it.
But then I have to pay for Game Pass.
I thought you were already paying for Game Pass.
No, I stopped because I was done playing Halo.
There's so many other games on there, though.
And of course, Gungrave. I think, actually, no, it's because I got it so I can play Gungrave.
Speaking of another recent game that was real fucking good, Signalis. Signalis was pretty dope. Pretty dope.
I wonder who could have told you that.
I mean, a lot of
constantly bugging you.
A lot of people were telling me that Signalis was great and gay. But especially
was gay. Yep. It's gay great.
But it is fantastic, and I think if anything we're going to keep Silent Hill 2 from getting on the top 100, it would be Signalis, because I think it essentially is a more fascinating version of Silent Hill 2.
What if Silent Hill 2 was more gay and also had Evangelion references?
Yeah, essentially. So, like, I really like Signalis, and it will probably be somewhere in the top 100. I'm not sure where, though.
So for me, I actually have only played Wario Land 4, and that one I played like a ton of.
Those Wario Land games are very good. Like,
hey, did you know that I have a Wario Land emote from
Yes,
Shake
I do. I do. Bree was literally watching a Vinny Vinesauce stream of Wario Land Shake It, and we saw that GIF pop up, and I was like, oh, that's where she fucking took it from.
The inspiration for that GIF was like watching the Retro Pals play it. I was like, look at that booty shit.
But, like, I think the Wario Land game I was maybe most fond of is Wario Land 2. And then maybe right behind that is Wario Land 3. Like, I played the shit out of Wario Land 2. I was like, because Wario Land 3 is on that Nintendo Switch, like, online thing now. And I was like, oh, this is the one that I played so much. And then I got into it. It's like, oh no, this isn't the one that I've played a ton. It's actually 2. I did play a lot of Wario Land 3, but 2 is the one that I fucking loved. So, like, I kind of love the way that Wario Land 2 is just like a weird treasure hunting game, essentially. Like, there's no real death state. You just, like, get hit by enemies, get fucked up powers, and just try to find all the secrets in the stage. It's like Mario, but with none of the consequences, essentially. And I think that's pretty cool. Speaking of other Game Boy games that I've always really liked, Super Mario Land 2 for the Game Boy. That's, for a long time, that was my favorite 2D Mario game, was that one. It's so just weird and quaint.
It's weird because it's, in a way, it's very similar to Super Mario Special in terms of Mario in a way that you're not used to.
Yeah, it is Mario games made by a B team, but because it's essentially a B team Mario game, they're allowed to be weirder with it, and I think that adds a lot more to the character of the Mario world. It's not just fucking, yep, Princess Peach got captured, time to do the same old shit again. Instead, it's just like, I don't know. You're in this weird land, Wario is in a castle, you gotta get a bunch of coins to get into the castle. We don't know why, but you're trying to get into it.
I did like in Mario Maker 2 they added the Mario Land fireballs that like bounce weird.
Yes. And when you get that, it gets you the like Mario Land overworld music, which is so good. And is also the leather belt, the force strength, force stamina belt. Aw, dude. Fucking love it. So good. Anyways, don't mind me. Geeking out about dumb 2000s memes. Portal 2. It's fucking, or not Portal 2, Portal. It's fucking Portal. I still occasionally go back to that game. I just go
you
through
gotta play
it
with, what is it, RTX or whatever.
I haven't done that yet, but I should. But like, you play through it and it's like, yep, this game is still fucking tight. Like, it's a tight 2 hours and you're done. All the jokes basically still hit. It's still just a fun game to play. Like, it is kind of unmatched. It is just continued to age like a damn fine wine. So I'm pretty sure Portal is like a very solid lock on that list.
Yeah, that's how I played Team Fortress 2 originally, is with the orange box on 360. Let me tell you what it's like being on a hacked console server where everything...
Oh god. That sounds like a nightmare.
Yeah, it's like no man's land because nobody cared about the multiplayer of Team Fortress 2.
The Witness. Fuck Jonathan Blow. And fuck him for being like the most pretentious, boring artist that has ever tried working in the medium of video games. However, the puzzles in The Witness are some of my favorite video game puzzles. However, also, fuck Jonathan Blow.
Are the Witness puzzles any better than the Myst golfing?
Yeah, they're at least better than that. Like, that's the thing. That's why I hate how much I enjoy The Witness. Because as just a game, I think it's fantastic. I just think that Jonathan Blow is literally the most boring artist that I have ever experienced the works of. Whenever he tries to like intentionally say something with the things that he makes, it's just fucking boring. Like, the way that he conveys it to the audience is just... I've never gotten, like, all the acclaim that Braid gets. It just sucks. Like, I really don't like it. I wouldn't go so far as to... Like, Braid...
Jonathan Blow makes games the same way as the college student who took his first class.
Yeah, essentially. Like, it is a non-artist, or it is someone that sucks at making art, trying to make art, and you just want to be like, no, just stop. Just make your puzzle game and let that speak for itself. Like, when you are trying to attach all this extra stuff from it, and it doesn't feel like it is really adding anything to the experience, you just come across like a douchebag. Like, it's just... I don't know, it is the epitome of smelling one's own farts. However, it's a really well-made puzzle game. So it's at least a maybe in
There's a
going
lot
on
of puzzle
there.
games I like that don't require me being next to somebody who's sniffing their own fart.
Sure, which is why something that's probably more likely to get on the list for me is Antichamber. I also think that's a pretentious art puzzle game. However, it at least doesn't say anything. Like, there aren't actual voices speaking out loud to you, taking up your time with lofty bullshit. Instead, it's just like, yeah, I don't know, here's a bunch of, like, non-Euclidean shit that you have to navigate. Have fun. And I think that's fantastic. Like, Antichamber has always, like, stuck out to me a lot, and this is another one of those fucking... Am I just Jeff Gerstmann? Who knows? Because I remember he was a very big proponent of this game as well. So yeah, that's another one that's, like, I'm feeling pretty confident about going on the list. Oh god. I'm only at 43 things on this top 100. Shit.
Cuphead I never played because it seemed hard.
It's pretty hard, but it is very good. I would... I'm gonna put that one in the maybe for now. I think that one leans more towards probably being a lock, but I do think that the difficulty can be a little bit tough to swallow on that. Frankly, Jay, I have no idea why a top 100 would be considered an easy undertaking. I don't know. I just enjoy it. So, let's see what else we got. I need to find other ones that I feel, like, confident about. Like, this... I think once I get to 50, like, my top, like, a locked down 50 choices, that's where I'm gonna call the stream for now, and we'll come back to it another day.
Well, how many items do you have left, like, just total?
How do I display that?
Just select everything. And...
Oh, okay. Where does... Oh, 150? So if I... So I have, like, 107 left.
Is that counting empty cells?
That's the thing, is I don't know if it's counting empty cells. Like, let's make it a little bit easier and just select these ones here. No, it doesn't count empty cells.
Oh, okay, you just have that.
Okay, But yeah, so it's 107. So let's say I get 7 more into the picked out things, and then I call it for sake of my throat. Yeah, Pokemon Puzzle League is gonna be on there. I played that game a lot. Like,
Yeah,
a lot.
It's a real fun game to get curb stomped in, yeah.
I'm sorry. It's literally... That was my first Panel Upon game. It was one of the few games that I had for the N64. And I just played the ever-loving shit out of it. Like, I played all the way through the story mode at every single difficulty. That is the reason why I am good at Panel Upon, is because I played through, like, I think it was the super hard mode, which is like the top hard, and that's why I got good at it. Like, I just learned how to, like, time out the game when it would get to that point where, like, everyone was at the top, constantly on the verge of death. And I just learned how to make that work. And I still have fond memories of the first time I ever brought up Panel Upon Debris, and she was like, oh, I'm gonna kick your ass at that. And I just kept telling her, no, you're not. You're not gonna do it. And she wouldn't believe me until I got on the console with her, and then the pain began.
Can you show the thumbnail on stream?
Oh, no, I'm talking about before. Like, we played it for the first time before we ever streamed it, I think.
I don't know.
I think we did. I'm pretty sure we did. We might not have. I don't know. I don't know 100% for sure, but I feel like we tried it beforehand.
But do show the thumbnail.
At some point, I'll show the thumbnail.
I'll find it and send it.
Okay, great. Okay, so 6 more. 6 more locks. I need 6 more locks and then I can end this. Metal Gear Solid 1's maybe. Yeah, Animal Crossing New Horizons has to be on there.
Which
Like,
one's New Horizons?
that was the one that came out, like, right when the pandemic started.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah. That game has a weird connotation with me, so...
It does for me too, but, like, just because it is associated with that, but also, it literally had me on, like, a habitual thing.
Wait, associated with what?
The pandemic. Like, literally, Animal Crossing New Horizons came out and, like, everything went to shit. And so, however, it also gave me, like, a nice, like, schedule that I could set for myself, so I wasn't just, you know, I had something to look forward to in the mornings. Like, I would wake up, roll out of bed, and play that, get into my, like, nice little habits, get this, like, little serotonin drip early on of playing that game, and I at least appreciated it for that.
I meant more, visiting my friend's digital grave in Animal Crossing.
Oh. Yeah, that's fair. That's
That's my, like, lasting association with the Animal Crossing.
That's fair. That's very, very fair.
Feed you might know about.
No, I know about too. Super Hot, I think, is gonna make it. I really I've always
I-
fucking dug the shit out of Super Hot.
Okay, I've gotta say.
Yes. What do you gotta say?
Yep, Wafidi, we sure did do that. 2020 was I'm gonna say I feel like it has to be the VR version. I feel like that is the VR game. That is a game made for VR. It is honestly, I think, the best VR game. It is so good.
The only problem I have with that is then you start getting into which game you played first. And for me, the one I played first was the original Super Hot. And like, don't get me wrong, it's really fucking cool in VR. It's really, really fucking cool in VR. But that
Also, that
original
thumbnail's great. I'm gonna destroy you.
But that original Super Hot is still super fucking hot. Like, don't get me wrong, there's a chance that maybe I look at that maybe list and I'm like, no, you know, Super Hot VR can make it onto the probablys and get on there, but like, for me, my go-to is still
Well, so looking
the
it up
original.
for you, hon, you might get into the maybes, and then you can get on the list.
What are you talking? Okay. Breath of the Wild.
I think that's a really good game.
I think it is too. But it's been... I think it's suffers a little bit from... No, I don't know.
What is
I
it
think-
suffers from?
No, I think it's less that it suffers and more that like once I've like played through an open world game, it's hard for me to imagine going back to it again. And because of that, it's hard for me to imagine playing Breath of the Wild again. Like, I remember really enjoying my time with it. However,
Yeah, but
I don't...
are you going to go back and play Pokemon Crystal?
Yes, I actually did that like last year. Like last year or the year before, I did that
I never
like
replay
fairly.
games. Almost never. The
Oh,
idea of
I do
going
it
back
regularly.
and playing a long form game, and I don't mean like a short form, like, you know, a run based thing, or like
Sure.
maybe I'll play it again if there's enough silly mods, because I know the Wii U version has a ton of mods, but for me, that is... I won't say it's my favorite Zelda game, because that's Majora's Mask, but it's close.
Uh-huh.
Hey,
Ski.
Briscoe.
Hey,
Briscoe, sit.
Briscoe.
Sit. Sit.
Yeah, I don't know. It might still make it. I'm gonna give it a yellow for now. I'm feeling weird enough about it for some reason. Like, I can't fully encapsulate it that I don't know if it makes it on there.
For a second, I thought you said, well, since it's come out, Genshin Impact.
No. God, no, Genshin Impact is not making it onto the list.
Just gonna take the mask off and be like, surprise, I'm a Genshin Impactor.
No. I played Genshin Impact for like an hour and found it very boring.
Yep. I played it like for an hour or two. Like, why do you all think?
I guess I am kind of waiting for Tears of the Kingdom and seeing what ends up happening with that. You know what? Fuck it. I'm gonna pull the trigger on this one. Gary's Mod, I think, 100% makes it on the list for me. Like, don't get me wrong. I was playing that game in a far worse time in my life with people that I would not associate with in the slightest anymore. However, Gary's Mod was very fun when we were playing that together. And I still remember, like, trolling around in fucking, like, Trouble in Terrorist Town, like, the original Amogus. And it was fun. Gary's Mod was very, very fun back when I played that more regularly. So, like, I think I have to put Gary's Mod on the list. I don't know if it falls very high, but it makes it.
Yeah, I mean, I played a little of it, but I was never like super into it.
For sure. Team Fortress 2 on that same note is a maybe, but I don't feel as strongly.
Statistically, Team Fortress 2 might be the game I've played the most. Let me just double check. Let's see, what does Steam
That's actually
say?
a good question. I wonder how much Team Fortress 2 I've played. Where's TF2? There it is. 140 hours. You know,
Oh,
that's
only 100?
140, yeah.
Okay, are you ready for what my playtime says?
Let's hear it.
Let me see. 2,469.2
Holy
hours.
fuck! God damn, girl!
Team Fortress 2 was my game. I was a medic.
God damn.
I know how to heal people.
I believe ya. You might technically have a PhD at this point if you spent that long on it.
Sold my Apple iPhone, your phone items on
Three more.
TF2. Got myself a game one.
Alright, 3 more. I need 3 more choices. 3 more locks.
Left 4 Dead's okay. I don't know.
What was that? Which one's okay?
Left 4 Dead, I don't know if that really hangs.
Yeah, I don't think it does either. I'm gonna get rid of it.
Oh yeah, I was talking about that before with Feedy. It was great. They didn't give a shit about the 360 port, and people were hacking the one level you could play.
Oh god, 3 more, huh?
3 more to highlight or get rid of.
3 more to highlight as locks. Yeah, I have to. Celeste. Yeah, it's gotta be Celeste. Celeste has to be one of them. Celeste was the game that made me, like, actually want to get better at 2D platformers. Like, I literally started learning, like, not a lot of speedrun strats, but just, like, the really basic, like, movement things that are, like, just slightly under the surface in that game. And it felt really fucking cool to figure all that stuff out. So, like, I really, really like Celeste.
I have it free from PlayStation Plus. I need to play it at some point.
You should definitely play Celeste, Sass. Okay, 2 more locks. 2 more locks. 2 more locks. What else? How about... You're gonna hate me for it.
Yeah, that game sucks. That's the worst version of it too. You like not only a game that's bad, I want the worst version. I want the one where the ending makes everything worse. I want the war crimes on Kaji.
I put so much time into Persona 4 Golden.
Yes, we do a lot of things when we're young. Things we might not be proud of, and that's fine.
Oh man. Fine, okay, fine. You're gonna peer pressure me into not doing it yet. I hate to say
the
it.
game version of
I gotta
hey,
be
you
honest.
better conform.
I gotta be honest, it's probably still gonna make its way onto the list. However, I won't do it yet. However, here, Fire Emblem Three Houses. You know, I think everyone at some point in their life has a long period of time where they're unemployed and they end up finding a game that they strongly attach to and sink all their time into it. Mine was Fire Emblem Three Houses. You can ask Bree. After I quit my job at Target, I spent like a solid 2 or 3 months just sitting on a couch with my Switch, like playing that in handheld mode.
It's true.
And I think I put in like a solid 200 to 300 hours on it or something. So
Yeah, I did one playthrough of the routes. I felt happy with my murder wife. It was like, you know, you might be murdering people, but god damn it, I love you.
I did a playthrough of every route except for the church route, and that one I still at least got like halfway through.
Got halfway through if you wanted to fuck your ancestor dragon mom.
Yeah, I think that sat with me weird enough that I was like, I don't know if I feel attached enough to commit like that.
You gotta think about it for a second.
Yeah.
Are you my grandmother or not?
Mhm.
Also, you're a dragon. Spoilers for Three Houses.
Wafidi makes a good point that I did sound real attached to Halo 2 when it first came up. And I was very attached to Halo 2.
Well, good
when that
news,
game came
Evie.
out.
Mamoru Oshii really likes Fallout 4 and even thanked a YouTuber in Vlad Love because they helped him through getting
Wow.
through Fallout 4.
All right, I'm gonna take a softball one. The fucking Game Boy version of Mario Golf is
That's not a softball, that's a golf ball.
ba-dum-bum. Is probably one of my favorite games of all time.
So, do you know what is very funny about Game Boy Mario Golf?
What's that?
There are two kinds of people.
What's that?
People who grew up with Game Boy Mario Golf and people who grew up with Game Boy Mario Tennis.
I cannot imagine trying to play a tennis game on a mobile platform. How did that go for you?
It is very good. But
Really?
It's those two games are almost the same in execution in terms of what the basic story is.
Huh. I mean,
So
that
it
I would believe, yeah.
So it literally is more about what would you rather play?
For sure.
They did the Game Boy Advance tennis games is also in the same style.
Mm-hmm. Weird. Okay, well.
Yeah, Mario's always the final boss, and he fucking cheats. I love. My favorite thing about those games is it's like a world with all humans, and then all of a sudden these fucking cartoon characters come in, and it's like, hey, we're the top star.
It's like, what the fuck? Excuse me? I'm just gonna clean these cells up on this spreadsheet. Get that real good, real good engagement and content going for y'all right now. Go ahead and delete these things out. Clean up these rows a little bit. It's like I'm back at work. You're damn right.
That was
You
like a real
damn
Excel
skippy.
saga.
Ba-dum-bum. Wait, that. Delete cells and move up. Oh my god, there's so many things to delete. And then I'll be able to get a better view on everything right now, because now I've deleted a decent chunk from also the probably file, which helped out a little bit. Just coming to some hard truths with myself and being like, no, you know what, that's just probably not gonna hang in general. I can get rid of it. Wait, delete. Ah, there we go. Now it's looking pretty. How many things do we got here? 149. But alright, everyone. Thank you for joining me, Bree, and Sass on this spreadsheet simulation stream of me trying to create a list of the top 100 games of all time. I'm too lazy to try to set up a raid, so I'm just gonna call it here. Everyone, take care of yourselves. Or actually, Sass,
Take
thank
care
you.
of each. What?
Oh, I was gonna say thank you for joining me impromptu.
Oh, no problem.
But yes, take care of yourselves, take care of each other. Keep your friends from making bad decisions on what they consider the best video games of all time. Have a good
I gave myself a shout out.
You know, that's okay. You deserve it. Thank you. Bye.
Bye.